Starting with the Iron Man evaluations, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 301, Let You Command the Night Department. Where are we going now? Huang Xiaoan took the initiative to speak after leaving Yuxu Peak to the night division. When Li Pingfan flew high into the sky, he held Wang Yaokei in his hand and gently let go. The half-dead Wang Yaokei fell from a height of several thousand meters. Of course, he would not let Wang Yaokei resign himself to fate. Why should I let God decide for my enemy? Boom. With a finger pointing, the dark beam of light engulfed Wang Yaokei, officially ending everything. I don't have much time. Let's go to the night division first to check. Do you know where Wang Shengli is imprisoned? Li Pingfan asked. Still in the same place. Although Wang Shengli was dismissed, he was still the head of the school. Therefore, Li Pingfan and others quickly found Wang Shengli. Wang Shengli is a little old now. He sat in the office with nothing to do. He was restricted by the school and could not leave. It's you? Wang Shengli was surprised when he saw Li Pingfan. Student Li Qi, where have you been during this period? There was such a big turmoil in the night department. Why didn't I see you? I said, I'm a visitor from another world. Li Pingfan spread his hands, expressing helplessness. Is it really another world? I was wondering why you seem to have evaporated from the face of the earth, and even the night department can't find any clues about you. Wang Shengli didn't bother about the fact that Li Pingfan was a visitor from another world. Anyway, he has been dismissed now. Speaking of which, how did you get in? There are many night department masters stationed near the school. They are guarding me and will never let you in. Especially with your current identity. Although Wang Shengli didn't finish his words, but Li Pingfan understood. He and Huang Xiaoan are now traitors of the night department. Jiang Wana was accused of being a fugitive from another world. Obviously, they will be hunted down wherever they go. You mean them? They were destroyed. Li Pingfan spread his hands and said, okay, now is not the time for you to ask questions. I don't have much time. Let's make it short. Who is the highest leader of the night department? What are you going to do? Wang Shengli asked. Just say it, if I tell you to. Li Pingfan slammed the table. By the way, Wang Yaokei is dead. Huh. Wang Yaokei's strength is no less than mine. He's dead. Seeing the shocked Wang Shengli, Li Pingfan nodded gently. Yes, I killed him. As expected, this guy is too scary. Tell me, who is the highest leader of the night department, and do you want to completely command the night department? Li Pingfan asked. What are you talking about? Wang Shengli stood up suddenly. Student Li Qi, your idea is very dangerous. I'm the Shangshu of the night department. Although I'm the former Shangshu, the night department has always been loyal to. Enough. Li Pingfan waved his hand. I don't have the time or the mood to chat with you about sentiments, and I'm not fishing. Just tell me if you want it or not. If not, I'll go find Shen Yang Tao Yiyan. I think they may have this idea. Wait. Wang Shengli is a smart fat man. He is also a scheming fat man. The so-called evil demons from other worlds. I don't understand it clearly for the time being, but now it seems that the night department may have been infiltrated, and even the Immortal Gate wants to take action. Do you understand? Li Pingfan said. No. Wang Shengli shook his head. You don't know how terrible the night department is. In addition to having countless strong men under their command, they also have military power and technological means. Although you are very strong, can you defeat fighter planes and tanks? Can you withstand missiles? Li Pingfan did not answer. Instead, he looked at Huang Xiaoan and Jiang Wana. He can indeed defeat them. There were more than 30 fighter planes besieging Yuxu Peak, and they were all destroyed by Senior Li. Yes, he can indeed defeat them. When he was at sea before, a warship launched a missile at him, and he blocked it. The door was pushed open. Yi Yan walked in. Did you do it? Li Pingfan looked at Yi Yan. TSK. Yi Yan curled his lips in disdain. If it wasn't for Stormblood Red not authorizing it, it would have been done long ago. More than 30 fighter planes? And the battle at sea. Did you solve them all? Wang Shengli looked at Li Pingfan. This time, without waiting for Li Pingfan to speak, Yi Yan walked to the table and said, if Teacher Wan doesn't want to command the night department, I can try. Obviously, Yi Yan was already at the door. Especially after hearing Li Pingfan's voice, he didn't want to come in. Dream on. Wang Shengli stood up immediately. He knew this was an opportunity. There was no time to think about it. The longer you think about it, the easier it is to miss the opportunity. I used to be the Minister of Night Division. I have worked hard and diligently for many years. I always felt that I could lead the Night Division a long time ago. Since Mr. Lee thinks highly of me, then I, the old man, must be obliged. In that case, let's go and take a look at the Night Division. Li Pingfan stretched. He only had 24 hours and no time to waste. We are not going to take a look at the Night Division. Minister Wang, watch your words. We are going to take over the Night Division. Everyone set off together. While flying in the air, Li Pingfan flew to the side of the lost Huang Xiaoyan. Can't go back to Yuxu Peak? Yeah. Huang Xiaoyan's eyes were red again, and she lowered her head, tears rolling in her eyes. If you can't go back, don't go back. Master asked me to follow you, but will you not want me anymore? Huang Xiaoyan looked up and asked. How could that be? Li Pingfan didn't know what to say. The key is that this time, he came here through the prop spell, and I really don't know if he can take Huang Xiaoyan with him when he leaves. If he takes her away, how to explain to the one in the ocean house? A maid. The kind that doesn't sleep with her. It should be believable. This time, after supporting Wang Shengli to the position of the leader of the night department, the Xianxia sect will have a backer, and it will be much smoother if it develops further. Li Pingfan said calmly. Huang Xiaoyan nodded. I will help you. Speaking of which, where are Shiyangte and Zisha? Why don't I see them? Li Pingfan asked. This, I don't know either. Shiyangte and Zisha returned to the underworld, and were temporarily summoned back by Sister Yan. As for why, I don't know. Maybe there is also turmoil in the underworld. Wang Shengli sighed. At the same time, in the ruins of the Xianxia sect in Mount Emery, a crack appeared. A thick black light flickered in the gap, and the black light flickered continuously. The next moment, a man and a woman, two demon kings, walked out of the darkness. Their eyes were black, but they seemed to be burning with flames. Whoever comes will be killed. Destroy the world. Boom. Suddenly, the sky changed color. In a blink of an eye, the mountain was razed to the ground. The huge noise attracted the attention of Li Pingfan and his group. Behind them, dust rolled, and the sky seemed to turn blood red in an instant, and the sun had no brilliance. What's going on? Such a strong demonic energy. What kind of power is this? It's bad. Chapter 302 Planning. That is, after returning, Li Pingfan specifically learned about the background of the Ace world in detail. Shiyangte and Zisha. Li Pingfan frowned. Because this is not the Shiyangte and Zisha in his impression. Shiyangte and Zisha said that they would leave here and return to the underworld temporarily. They told me and asked me to tell you that if we meet them before they contact us, it must not be them. Yi Yan said. Jiang Wana on the side felt a little dizzy. Brother Yi Yan, are you saying tongue twisters again? Why can't I understand it at all? So dizzy. What do you mean by meeting them but not them? Are they controlled by someone? Huang Xiaoyan also asked in confusion. Yi Yan shook his head. I don't know much about these. The two of them were very anxious at the beginning, but they just told me to tell them that if we meet them before they contact us, we can kill them as enemies. Wang Shengli fell into silence. He obviously noticed something, but felt that this was not the fact, a fact that he could not believe at all. They are the Shiyangte and Zisha in the past. Li Pingfan spoke. Zisha is tall and slender, with an appearance that looks down on the world, and even has the demeanor of a queen, which is completely different from the silly little loli who hugs her idol Yi Yan every day. In a certain year in the past, there were two world-destroying demon kings in the demon clan. They slaughtered the human and ghost worlds with blood. They launched a war of demon king unification, and were later killed by the three former imperial censors. After 100 years of nurturing and rebirth, they are the Shiyangte and Zisha we know. Li Pingfan spoke slowly. Li Qi, you said that the two of them are the world-destroying demon kings in the past? No, I have read the archives. They are dead. Is there someone in the demon world who helped them gain power? Wang Shengli asked. Either they helped Shen Yangtai and Zisha gain the abilities of their previous lives, or they are the former world-destroying demon kings who were brought back from a certain timeline by some means. Li Pingfan didn't know why, but he had this intuition in his heart. It seemed very similar to the feeling when he traveled through the timeline to the future. As for whether they have acquired the abilities of their previous lives or the Devil King of Destruction, I think it's easy to test it out. Right, Yu Yan, my male god, can Sister Zisha's queenly style charm you? Li Pingfan asked. Bah. Yu Yan shook his head and refused. Don't even think about asking me to be a guinea pig. Besides, Shen Yangtai, that idiot, also likes Sister Huang, right? You can let Sister Huang try it. Well, I'll try it. Huang Xiaoan was about to rush over with her sword, but her wrist was grabbed by Li Pingfan. My people, you have no right to order them. Li Pingfan stopped Huang Xiaoan in a domineering manner. A sentence spread in Huang Xiaoan's heart. When did I become your people? I want to fight you one-on-one. Yu Yan cursed. Before they finished bickering, a dark beam of light came straight from a distance. At the critical moment, Li Pingfan stepped forward and activated the 10,000 dragon scale armor. A light wall blocked in front of him, and the dragon shadow flickered. There was a loud bang. He resisted this finger of destruction. It seems that there is no need to try. They want to kill us. Li Pingfan said coldly. What? Wang Shengli was a little confused. The two former world-destroying demon kings have returned. How can this be done? You know, it took the 3 imperial censors to destroy them together. The 3 imperial censors are not only not gathered now, but the most important thing is that their strength is still very weak. There is no way to fight the 2 world-destroying demon kings. Maybe, Li Pingfan said softly, but I'm here. Isn't it a variable? And don't you want to know why the 2 former demon kings suddenly appeared in this situation? Now they want to deal with the high-level night department who have been infiltrated by the so-called evil demons from another world. And by the way, investigate how the so-called evil demons from another world came to this world. At this juncture, the 2 former world-destroying demon kings actually crossed the time channel and came to the present. All these situations are not coincidental. Or, those evil demons from another world are related to these 2 world-destroying demon kings. Li Pingfan rubbed his fists. As for the absence of the 3 imperial censors, haha, it doesn't matter whether they are there or not. With him here, what is there to worry about? As for whether to change history, when he appeared, when he first came to the Ace World Live Review, hadn't history changed? Can the world today still be viewed from the original perspective? This world has changed. Li Pingfan sneered and dispersed the defense. Shen Yangtai and Zisha, floating in the air in the distance, were obviously curious about the world they suddenly came to. Li Qiai, what should we do? Wang Shengli asked. Minister Wang, you are quite capable, right? Li Pingfan asked. Of course. I will lend you the Stormblood Red, and in addition, I will give you another thing. Go and clean up the night department. Can you do it? Li Pingfan asked. If you have the Stormblood Red, you can definitely do it, Wang Shengli said. As he spoke, Wang Shengli showed a satisfied smile. What else? He was now full of curiosity about this Li Qiai. What are you thinking about, Wana? Drive the Stormblood Red to escort Minister Wang Shengli. You still have the magic weapons I gave you before. Remember to bring them with you, Li Pingfan reminded. But, Senior Li, you are here by yourself. Don't worry, don't we still have Xiaoan and Dead Fish Eyes? It's okay. If we can't beat them, I'll let Dead Fish Eyes be cannon fodder, and Xiaoan and I will retreat, Li Pingfan said. Point, I really want to hit you. Dead Fish Eyes. Yu Yan stared at Li Pingfan. Why should I be cannon fodder for you? But, okay, let's go. After that, Li Pingfan opened the space of the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. As for the other prop, it is brought by Stormblood Red. Its name is Cobalt Bomb. I think everyone should understand it. The Cobalt Bomb drilled out and was carried by Stormblood Red. Let's go. Yes. Cobalt Bomb. These 2 words made Wang Shengli's heart tremble. As the Minister of Night Department, he not only knows about these people with extraordinary abilities, but also about technological products. Cobalt bombs, far more than nuclear bombs. In the Ace world, it is also a product of imagination and has never really appeared. This guy can actually take out a cobalt bomb casually. Moreover, he gave it to them with such confidence, which proved that he had something more powerful than the cobalt bullet. Although he knew very little, Wang Shengli knew that Li Pingfen was definitely not the kind of young man who would easily get carried away by passion. Since this guy dared to give it to them, he was not afraid that they would use the cobalt bullet against him. Please rest assured, I will definitely purge the night department and take it down completely. Wang Shengli issued a military order. The dignified night department minister was now like a lackey in front of Li Pingfen. Chapter 303, Start to Fool. Wang Shengli and Jiang Wana, who was riding the blood red storm and carrying the cobalt bomb, left together. Only Li Pingfen and the two imperial censors were left off the field, and then there were the two world-destroying demon kings who had just arrived in the future world and had not yet reacted. As for why Li Pingfen asked Jiang Wana to follow Wang Shengli on the adventure, it was because he really didn't have much time. If he came to live broadcast and had a lot of time to stay here, he would definitely not do this. At least, he would not hand over the cobalt bomb as a deterrent. But now, there is not enough time. Everything can only be ended with thunder. In 24 hours, he will leave. If he doesn't solve the problem, he must at least solve it and get rid of the big deal. Let Huang Xiaoan and others deal with the remaining trivial matters. Be prepared, these two world-destroying demon kings are not as easy to deal with as those two brainless ones. Through Li Pingfen's understanding, he knew that the past world-destroying demon king Shen Yangte and the current Shen Yangte were completely different. Although the physical quality of the devil king Shen Yangte is not as good as the perpetual motion machine Shen Yangte, he knows his IQ is higher than his. As for Zisha, needless to say, just the aloof aura of the Empress is far superior to that of the cute little Lali. The finger of annihilation. Boom. Li Pingfen took the lead in attacking. Since Zisha used the finger of annihilation to attack them before, he would not be polite. The dark beam shot out. Yi Yan was stunned. He had never seen Li Pingfen's moves, but he had seen Zisha use it. This guy, can he learn magical powers by stealing? Or did he learn it so quickly? He only used it once. As for Huang Xiaoyan, she had seen it before. When Li Pingfen killed Wang Yaokei, he used the finger of annihilation. Transform into a wall. Shen Yangte raised his hand and waved. The rocks on the ground were moved, and with a rumble, several earth walls came from all directions and enveloped Shen Yangte. Boom. The finger of annihilation rushed forward. A finger shattered the earth wall. Although the wall transforming spell looked unimpressive, it was the top earth-based spell that Shen Yangte mastered, and its defense was very strong. Now it was easily shattered by a finger. Pa. After the blow, the somewhat dusty Shen Yangte spat. What's going on? How could they destroy the world with one finger? Shen Yangte looked at Zisha and asked. Zisha looked at Li Pingfen in confusion. She had never seen this person before, and she didn't know why others could destroy the world with one finger. Kill them, Zisha said coldly. She leaped up and rushed towards the three people. Senior Li, I will help you. Huang Xiaoan rushed over with the ancient Zeuxan sword in her hand. Wait a minute, Li Pingfen shouted. In this situation, Zisha could completely beat Huang Xiaoyan. Deal with Shen Yangte well, that guy is very strong. I will help Huang Xiaoyan. Yi Yan was not polite. He raised the Huang Yao banner, held the soul suppressing gong, and rushed over with the soul suppressing hammer. You two are in big trouble. Li Pingfen was about to chase him. Shen Yangte rushed over at a very fast speed. He raised his hand above his head and pulled it down hard, shouting, Stone spike rain. Countless sharp stone spikes appeared out of thin air in the sky, and they were extremely fierce and smashed towards Li Pingfen on the ground. They came fiercely. Shock. Li Pingfen didn't react and had no time to use his skills. He could only temporarily mobilize the power of the shock fruit. Boom boom boom. The violent vibration of the air caused these stone spikes to break instantly, turning into tiny stone chips and smashing down. Even so, the stone chips that fell on Li Pingfen also had a considerable impact. It is conceivable that, if those stone spikes were hit, what would happen now? It must be in a mess. Are you too arrogant? I'm here, and you still have the mind to care about others. Shen Yangte shouted coldly. Although his eyes were still arrogant and disdainful, he was particularly interested in Pingfan now. This guy can use Zisha's unique skills. She also withstood his strong attack. If I don't deal with you, it seems that I can't deal with Zisha, Pingfan said coldly. Do you know Zisha? Xianyangte stared at Pingfan. No. Pingfan shook his head to deny. You can destroy the world with one finger, and you know Zisha. Who are you? Xianyangte questioned. Pingfan didn't answer. He rushed over again. His fist suddenly became bigger. Powerful star-picking hand. Wang Yaoke had been at a disadvantage because he looked down on this attack. Humph, do you really think that you will have enough strength if you become bigger? The weak will always be weak. Xianyangte showed a disdainful expression, clenched his fist, and there was a crackling sound of bones rubbing against each other. At the same time, a red energy wrapped around his fist. Demon, explosion. Boom. Just when the two iron fists were about to collide with each other, Pingfan silently opened the demon's left arm in his heart. The demon's fist with a white background and red lines suddenly covered it. A strong spiritual pressure burst out again. The attack of the demon. Boom. This is the real fist-to-fist collision. The powerful star-picking hand empowered the demon's attack, which was extremely terrifying. A strong energy wave burst out in the air, spreading out from the two of them as a center, and the ground was lifted up layer by layer. The nearby grass and trees were all shattered. The air even showed signs of breaking. This punch was very powerful. You know, when Xianyangte used the heavenly demon explosion, although he had 3 times the power, he still punched Yi Yan, who had opened the 8 banners night domination form. Now, the two are actually competing. The two forces are constantly exerting on each other. Boom. There was another loud noise. The two pushed away. The ground sank into a pit of more than 10 meters. Xianyangte panted heavily, looking at Pingfan's retracted arm, a little surprised. The veins on the arm, the breath emitted, and the horn on the shoulder armor all made him feel familiar. Demon, you are also a demon. Xianyangte glanced at Pingfan coldly. No wonder. If he is a demon, it can explain why he can learn Zisha's unique skills. At the same time, Xianyangte's brain is working fast. The man mentioned Zisha's name before. What is your relationship with Zisha? Xianyangte rushed forward again. I don't know her. Pingfan bit his tongue. He threw another punch. A skull totem appeared in the air due to this punch. After the fight, Xianyangte suddenly jumped out of the deep pit, deliberately keeping the battle distance away from Pingfan. Zisha actually taught you the finger of extinction. Pingfan deliberately mentioned Zisha's name, deliberately used the finger of extinction, and the left arm of the devil. All this was to establish one thing. To make Xianyangte think that he knew Zisha and had a close relationship with Zisha. Closing the net. Pingfan shouted again, looking behind Xianyangte with joy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 304, The Thousand-Year Chrysanthemum. Xianyangte was startled by the shout. He moved his body in an instant and retreated in a blink of an eye. The net failed. Wait a moment, Xiao Huang and Xiao Yi, you two remember to let go. Don't take it too seriously. Pingfan shouted again. Hearing his words, Xianyangte tried to use the eye of breaking the law to look at the attacks of Huang Xiaoan and Yi Yan. Their attacks were a bit soft and powerless. The lethality was not very great. They were no match for Zisha at all. Don't worry about them two to deal with Zisha. That would be a decision. To give up their heads, I understand. Xianyangte slapped his forehead. Zisha, that stinky woman, is she colluding with you to destroy me and then unify the demon world? Beautiful. This is the effect Pingfan wanted. If it weren't for the fact that Xianyangte's IQ was far higher than the current Xianyangte, he wouldn't have to bother so much. Just go straight in. For the current Xianyangte, fists are everything. But unfortunately, Xianyangte in the past had a very high IQ, even higher than Yi Yan. It just so happens that people with high IQs become particularly sensitive when facing unknown situations. They want to use their IQs to understand everything clearly, or at least to master it clearly. Just like now. Suddenly coming to the future world, this is a completely unfamiliar environment in itself. In this environment, they have not yet reacted. Li Pingfan first hit with the finger of extinction. It shocked Shen Yangtze, because the finger of extinction is Zisha's unique skill. Then, Li Pingfan casually pointed out that he knew Zisha's name. Then let Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan pretend to hold Zisha back. In fact, it was not that Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan deliberately let them go, but that their strength was really not enough. At least facing Shen Yangtze and Zisha in a tyrannical state, they were weak. However, the eye of breaking the law could not see their own abilities. It could only see the power of Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan's spells or attacks. After Shen Yangtze used the eye of breaking the law again, he immediately saw that Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan's attack power was very weak. Let them go. Add to that the various preparations Li Pingfan had made earlier. These two words filled Shen Yangtze's mind at this moment. Sure enough, this is a trap. Zisha, that bitch, actually wants to trick me. Shen Yangtze rubbed his fists. Fortunately, my IQ is high enough. Fortunately, your IQ is high enough. Otherwise, Shen Yangtze now would not be able to come up with so much information, even if he was beaten to death. Li Pingfan thought to himself. Kill Zisha. Li Pingfan shouted again. He also hit Zisha with a finger of destruction. This move just delayed Zisha, making it impossible for Zisha to solve Huang Xiaoan and Yi Yan with thunderous means. In Shen Yangtze's opinion, this scene was just acting. It was a very poorly acted play. Do you still want to act? Shen Yangtze roared. If Li Pingfan was busy confirming Shen Yangtze's guess, then Shen Yangtze would feel that he had been tricked by the other party. However, now that Li Pingfan was eager to distance himself from Zisha, it greatly deepened Shen Yangtze's thoughts. You want to distance yourself from me now? Idiot, do you really think my brain is full of shit? Shen Yangtze sneered. Zisha, the most ruthless woman's heart is indeed true. You are really ruthless. Zisha didn't expect these two guys to be so difficult to deal with. At first, she was indeed careless. She didn't take these two clowns seriously, but she didn't know one thing. Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan were both imperial censors. Moreover, their ancestors had joined forces to kill Zisha and Shen Yangtze. Although the two of them were not strong enough, they were definitely not passers-by who could be dealt with by waving their hands. If Li Pingfan hadn't appeared, they would be the sons of the plane of this world. In addition, when Zisha went all out and got serious later, Li Pingfan began to harass her. Whether it was the power, purity, or any other level of the finger of destruction that Li Pingfan displayed, it was not weaker than Zisha. She was dragged down again, so she couldn't easily deal with Huang Xiaoan and Yi Yan. Still want to act. Shen Yangtze was furious. You cooperated with this unknown demon scum. Didn't you come here just to find a way to kill me? Now, you still need to pretend. The angry Shen Yangtze rushed to the battlefield. Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoan hurriedly avoided. Let Shen Yangtze rush to Zisha. Bang. Demon explosion. Zisha didn't react and raised her hand to block. She didn't know that Shen Yangtze would actually use his unique skills on her. She was hit, and her body flew backwards. Shen Yangtze, you got kicked in the head by a donkey. I said I don't know these people. Zisha shouted. Haha, do you think I'm an idiot? Transform into ground spikes. Shen Yangtze waved his hand, and immediately countless barbs suddenly rushed out from under the ground where Zisha collapsed. Are you serious? Zisha was also enraged. Leaping up, raised her hand, and pointed at Shen Yangtze, a finger of destruction. Haha, finally can't help it? Finally planning to take action? Shen Yangtze mocked. You are a pig. No, calling you a pig is an insult to pigs. Shen Yangtze does have extraordinary intelligence, and he can calmly analyze the situation in a tense battle. Obviously, for Shen Yangtze, he has seen through everything. What's going on? Yi Yan came to Li Pingfan and asked in confusion. Huang Xiaoan was also puzzled. What's going on? The two world-destroying demon kings who wanted to destroy them all before are now fighting each other? The floor of smart people. Li Pingfan shrugged. Then what should we do? Wait for them to lose both? Huang Xiaoan asked. Watch the tigers fight from the mountain and pick up their heads later. Yi Yan yawned. What are you thinking? If they can really fight to the death, How can they unify the demon clan and launch a unified war of demon kings? This is just a delaying tactic, or a consumption tactic. Sure enough, the two fought for only a few minutes before they reacted. Damn, I'm in trouble. Xianyang turned his head. It happened that Li Pingfan and Huang Xiaoyan and a few others were standing together. Big sister Zisha, we are exposed. Hurry up and use the 1,000-year chrysanthemum blossoming move. Li Pingfan shouted. Xianyang, who was standing in front of Zisha, suddenly felt a chill on his buttocks, turned his head abruptly, and looked at Zisha vigilantly. Are you sick? Zisha's good temper was exhausted. Such a pig teammate. The IQ is really worrying. Want to sow discord? Use a trick twice, it will be useless. Xianyang gritted his teeth. Big sister Zisha, good opportunity. This guy will not look back. 1,000-year chrysanthemum blossoms. 10,000-year chrysanthemums wither. Swish. Li Pingfan just shouted. Xianyang turned his head abruptly again. The scene became even more embarrassing. Bang. A finger of destruction blasted towards Xianyang. Chapter 305 Thunderous Means. With a bang, Xianyang was hit by Li Pingfan's finger of destruction. Although he noticed it in time, he was still affected. Xianyang had never been defeated like this before. I'll kill you. Xianyang roared, and just as he was about to rush up, Li Pingfan shouted again without hurrying. Very good big sister, we have a tacit understanding in our cooperation. Now I will attract his attention. You must sneak attack him, and hit him with one shot. Don't be polite. Swish. Xianyang turned his head, and Zisha's face was full of black lines. Slowly walked forward. Swinging his fist, he hit Xianyang's head hard. Pour the water in your brain, okay? This guy's making fun of you. Don't you know anything? Zisha shouted angrily. Xianyang's mouth twitched, and he jumped away a few steps to distance himself from Zisha. Great big sister, this guy has entered the bombing zone. It's the trap we set up. Now you can use the finger of destruction. Let's stab him to death. As soon as Li Pingfan finished shouting, Xianyang looked at Zisha nervously, ready to escape. Look at me again. Believe it or not, I will really help him stab you to death. Isn't Xianyang very smart at ordinary times? What happened today? Is his IQ offline? I have to say that you have a lot of crooked tricks, but do you think they will always be useful? Zisha looked at Li Pingfan coldly. Although I don't know how you learned the finger of destruction, it's wishful thinking to provoke us like this and reap the benefits of being a fisherman. Zisha scolded coldly. After hearing Zisha's words, Li Pingfan stretched out a finger and shook it left and right a few times. No, I never thought of reaping the benefits of being a fisherman. My plan is just this thing. Li Pingfan pointed to an armor that fell in the distance, and his figure rushed over in an instant, opening the sea of immortal consciousness and taking it in. This is just a piece of shoulder armor on the armor, but it came from the heavenly demon armor that Xianyang was wearing. Li Pingfan's attack sneaked up on Xianyang's finger of destruction. He didn't intend to kill him. The target he bombarded was Xianyang's heavenly demon armor. He knocked off the shoulder armor. At the same time, Li Pingfan received it in the sea of immortal consciousness. The heavenly demon armor can gain 3 times the combat power within the first 10 minutes after activating the attribute. I know this ability, so my goal is to make it impossible for the heavenly demon armor to be put together as a set. Li Pingfan smiled indifferently. After any part of the heavenly demon armor is taken into the different space, it will be cut off from the main body. In other words, Xianyang, you can't summon it back. If you can't put it together as a set, you can't use the 3 times combat power. It's that simple. Zisha and Xianyang's faces were very ugly. Zisha took 2 steps forward. So what? Have you forgotten that I also have a demon armor? And since you have already pointed it out, I will not give you a chance to defeat it. 10 minutes, I will use it now. It doesn't matter. Li Pingfan shook his fingers again. I just need to weaken one of you. I'm not afraid of the other one, even if he has 3 times the combat power. Li Pingfan clapped his hands and walked towards Zisha. It's time to change opponents. You two will deal with Xianyang now. Although he is injured and has been consumed before, he is not easy to deal with. I will make a quick decision. He stopped and paused. Li Pingfan turned around, looking at Huang Xiaoyan. Protect yourself and remember to be careful. Huang Xiaoan nodded heavily, feeling warm in her heart. Do you think that, since I was hit, and don't have a demon armor, the two of them are my opponents? Get ready to face the wrath of the king. She Yangte was furious. He would not drag it out now, but would deal with the two people in front of him with thunderous means. Of course not. I never said that your opponents are only the two of them. Li Pingfan said. Open the sea of immortal consciousness again. Come out, little brother. Or 3-meter tall metal giant holding a sword. Or 3-meter tall, heavy metal giant with a cannon in one hand and a shield in the other. Heavy swordsman and titan meat shield appeared. The energy conversion collector is now placed at the bottom of the pyramid by Li Pingfan, which is absolutely safe, so all the guarding metal giants were mobilized back by Li Pingfan. No need to guard it anymore. These metal giants were naturally collected by Li Pingfan into the sea of immortal consciousness. Before coming, Li Pingfan had thought about it. He planned to leave these metal giants in this world, leaving them to Huang Xiaoan and Jiang Wana as a helper for the two of them. As for him, the super soldier factory on the moon is still developing anyway, and super soldiers are only a matter of time. If there is enough time, he will have a steady supply of soldiers. This is your opponent. Go. She Yangte stared at the four opponents. With a bang, a ball of golden energy suddenly came out from behind him. Thousands of meters away, Xiao Ai held a gun and crouched in a place. After determining the right time, he suddenly fired. A golden energy impact cannon hit She Yangte, knocking him to the ground. At the same time, Titan meat shield rushed up, followed by the heavy swordsman. By the way, I forgot to tell you, I didn't say that your opponents were only the four of them. The heavy swordsman opened and closed the giant sword in his hand, and the momentum was fierce, leaving no time for She Yangte to react. The Xiaoyu sniper behind him kept changing positions, and from time to time he would harass him with a precise sniper attack. She Yangte was in a difficult battle for a while. He was very anxious. Be careful. Li Pingfan gave another warning, and then looked at Zisha. Idiot. Zisha looked at She Yangte, who was in a passive position, and couldn't help frowning. The two of them actually ended up like this. Damn it. We can only fight quickly. The demon armor. Get up. Bang. In an instant, the spiritual pressure in Zisha's body burst out multiple times, becoming very powerful. A constant stream of energy was released from her body. The Devil King of Destruction is already very strong, and now he has tripled his combat power. It's really hard to deal with him. If I hadn't weakened She Yangte's heavenly demon armor at the beginning, I really wouldn't be able to deal with them. Li Pingfan sighed. But now, there is only one. It's much easier. One finger of annihilation. Zisha shouted angrily. Boom. A powerful beam rushed towards Li Pingfan. It was so powerful that a bottomless trench was swept across the ground. One finger of annihilation. Li Pingfan also raised his finger. 500 points were added. Boom. Another beam of light that was no less powerful rushed over. The sky and the earth were eclipsed. The ground within a radius of 1 kilometer was shattered, and the cracks spread out, becoming a mess. Fist of light. Li Pingfan raised the fist of missile high, and all the sunlight was absorbed into it. Bang. A strong beam of light was shot out, and hit Zisha again. I'm sorry, before you use the heavenly demon armor, I had already decided to solve everything with thunder. The fist of light couldn't be blessed by points, but there were magnifying element, so he injected all the magnifying element into it. This punch was quite powerful. Chapter 306 Triple Happiness. Thunder and lightning. A punch smashed the ground. You are not the only one who wants to solve everything with thunder and lightning. I think so too. What a coincidence. The next moment, Li Pingfan rushed forward. He was extremely fast, and the magic sword followed closely behind him. When he rushed into the dust, he spread his palms, and the magic sword took the hilt in his hand. He clenched it tightly. Suddenly, the magic sword burst into a brilliant brilliance, and the purple sword energy dispersed all the dust and smoke, shaking it. Cut. Boom. A sword light, accompanied by countless sword energy, twisted into the formation. Enough. Zisha's cold voice came out. Inexplicable winds gathered from all directions, and in a blink of an eye, a huge tornado appeared. World-destroying tornado. The powerful suction of the tornado sucked in all the dust and grass around it, especially those grasses and trees. When they collided with the outer wall of the tornado, they were instantly squeezed and shattered, turning into debris and rising higher and higher with the tornado. The tornado that suddenly appeared in front of Pingfan was at least several dozen meters high, and the ground was constantly drilled into a deep pit. It was fierce. Destroy you. Zisha was very angry. She originally wanted to solve this troublesome guy with thunder. As a result, he was taught a lesson again and again. It must be fast. Wind, tornado, Pingfan stood there without any movement. You probably don't know that I have torn apart even hurricanes that can destroy several cities. As he said, Pingfan stretched out 2 fingers. He was not making a yeah gesture to the camera. Twice. I tore it apart twice. This tornado is very strong. There is also the blessing of spiritual power, but in terms of scale, it can't be compared with the eye of the hurricane formed naturally. Shake it up. The next scene can be said to be Zisha's eyes. An invisible force was born from nowhere, and it actually blocked the impact route of the world-destroying tornado. It's interesting. It turns out that a tornado blessed by spiritual energy is different from a hurricane formed in general. It's difficult to tear it apart easily, but I'm not the same person as before. With a bang, a crack appeared on the tornado, and then the crack became bigger and bigger. The next moment, with a bang, the tornado was torn into several small tornadoes from the inside. What? Zisha didn't expect that this was what happened in front of her. Her world-destroying tornado was torn apart. When the vibration frequency of the air reaches a certain speed, it will be like a sharp knife, which can easily cut into the storm. However, this world-destroying tornado was not formed naturally, and it was blessed by spiritual energy. Therefore, Pingfan first used the air vibration frequency to find a point with a similar flow rate to the world-destroying tornado, and then tried to merge into it. Sure enough, it succeeded. After merging into it, and then increasing the frequency inside, cracks will appear, which is a sign of spreading from each part of the world-destroying tornado. With a bang, it exploded suddenly. It was torn apart completely. But, so strong. Is this all you can do with 3 times the combat power? Pingfan rushed over closely, his iron fist and the demon's left arm opening and closing. You want to see me with 3 times the combat power? I'm afraid you'll die if you see me, annoying bug. Whether it was the Messiah's fist or the demon's left arm, the power that erupted was beyond imagination. At least Zisha couldn't resist it. Every punch made her feel pain. She could only retreat again and again. Hellflower. With a bang, the ground exploded instantly. A bright red flower spread out, and each of its petals was harder than rock, and it instantly swallowed Pingfan. When the hellflower with 3 times the power appeared, Pingfan activated the Eye of Breaking the Law. So strong. The power even exceeded the defense point of the 10,000 dragon scale armor. If he had to take a blow, even if he could survive, the 10,000 dragon scale armor would probably be shattered, or at least injured. Damn, Zisha in the triple blessing state is difficult to deal with. Pingfan frowned. He wanted to jump away, but the speed of the hellflower was very fast, and there was only a 30% chance of escape. Come on, heaven devouring talent. Pingfan shouted in a low voice. He activated a talent. The ability from the immortal lizard. The extremely powerful devouring talent. It can absorb the pressure brought by the outside world and use its power for a short period of time. This power can only be obtained by burning points. There are 2 ways to activate the heaven devouring talent. The first is to consume it in the form of burning points, with a limit of a certain number of points per minute, or a certain period of time. The pressure and the power of transformation will have no limit. In other words, even if it is a supernatural power that penetrates the sky and the earth, as long as you have enough points, you can use the heaven devouring talent to obtain it. The second is to upgrade the talent by using points to continuously increase its upper limit. Obviously, now facing the triple happiness, 3 times the tyranny of Zisha, the second method is not applicable. Damn, you actually burned more than 700 points of my points. Click. The blood red hellflower suddenly merged and completely swallowed Pingfan. Die. Zisha clapped her hands. This scene also fell into the eyes of Yi Yan and Huang Xiaoyan. Senior Lee. Hey, love rival, you are not serious. Yi Yan scolded. The 2 of them were relatively relaxed here. The 3 super soldiers were constantly helping, which could be said to be 5 against 1. Xianyangte couldn't use triple happiness, triple combat power, so he could only be in a passive situation. Senior Lee, why do you want to help us like this? It's all my fault. My cultivation is not high enough. There is nothing I can do. Huang Xiaoan burst into tears. But she hadn't finished her self-blame. She saw that the red hellflower began to show signs of cracking. No, it's impossible. Zisha frowned. The hellflower with 3 times the power was enough to destroy everything. Even she herself might not be able to withstand the strong impact. So how did the other party break through the defense? 3 times the power, 3 times the happiness. With a bang. Li Pingfan, who broke out of the restrictions of the hellflower, was extremely powerful. It was as if a ball of fiery red energy was burning on his body. In the blink of an eye, the aura he exuded was completely different. The heaven-swallowing talent really makes people feel happy. So strong. Endless power flowed through Li Pingfan's body. Arsehole, 1 finger of destruction. Zisha, with 3 times the power, hit again. Come on, the more the better. The pitch black beam rushed towards Li Pingfan. He raised his palm and grabbed the beam, with no intention of avoiding it. The energy of the beam began to dissipate little by little, and Li Pingfan's aura continued to rise. Alright. Next, it's my personal show. Chapter 307 Personal Show. Bang! Li Pingfan threw a punch. His body was burning with fiery red energy, and his fist was wrapped in a black aura. The energy on his body came from the hellflower, and the aura on his fist came from the finger of destruction. Just in time. Zisha's 3 times combat power time has ended. Everything else is Li Pingfan's personal show. Boom. A punch passed. The void seemed to collapse. Zisha blocked with both hands, but he couldn't withstand the impact. His figure flew backwards and smashed into a mountain, splashing dust. Li Pingfan didn't hold back either, raised his hand and pointed to the distance. Boom. The finger of destruction shot out and completely pierced the mountain. Then, he rushed towards Xianyangte fiercely. The longer he used the devouring heaven talent, the more points he consumed, so he had to hurry up. Xianyangte saw that Li Pingfan defeated Zisha in a blink of an eye, and even resisted 2 unique skills of Zisha with 3 times the combat power. He knew that he had hit a hard wall this time, and this guy was not easy to deal with. Electric screen. Xianyangte floated into the air. There was a black weapon in his hand. It looked like a black sword with a gap in the middle, like a fork. The sword was wrapped with blue and white lightning. Crack. Endless lightning and thunder were released from the sword, and the light blasted into the sky. After the dense electric net spread out, it wrapped around Li Pingfan. Destroyer of the gods, destroy it for me. After a large amount of lightning was released, it reached Li Pingfan's range in a blink of an eye, and wrapped him up. Electric screen, chasing destroyer, I like it. Li Pingfan had studied Xianyangte and Zisha thoroughly. The electric screen is one of the abilities of the weapon in his hand, that is, the destroyer of the gods itself. This move cannot be strengthened with the strength of the user. The spell is weak and the damage is low. No increase can be used on this move. In other words, even if Xianyangte has the opportunity to activate the triple combat power, he cannot increase the power of the electric screen in the triple state. The real function of the electric screen is not to attack, but to imprison. It wraps the opponent through the thundercloud electric net, and then the electric current will continue to paralyze the opponent. Normally, Xianyangte used this move because he was afraid that the other party would escape, and he would trap the other party and himself in the telescreen. At this time, they could only fight hard. But now it was different. Xianyangte did not enter the telescreen. He wanted to trap Li Pingfan. It's too late. You want to trap me now? What were you doing earlier? Li Pingfan rubbed his iron fist. With a bang, he hit the electric current. Even though the electric current continued to rush into his body, he was not worried. Xianyangte did not expect that the other party would be so tough and intend to force through the electric current of the telescreen. Damn, I was really tricked. Didn't they say that there are no strong people in this world? Xianyangte looked at Zisha, who was injured by a punch in the distance and whose life or death was unknown. It's time to retreat. As he said, he put his fingers in his mouth and whistled. Hiss then, a horse neighed. A black horse appeared out of thin air, and its back, mane and tail, as well as its forehooves were burning with flames, and the flames were fierce. Flame horse, do you want to leave now? Li Pingfan sneered. The flame horse, ignoring gravity, moves at high speed. It is one of Shen Yangtai's trump cards. Unfortunately, it's too late. As he spoke, a golden fingertip suddenly appeared on Li Pingfan's finger, covering the middle finger of his left hand. Nano God level middle finger. The nano God level middle finger appeared by Jarvis and the mermaid. Previously, Li Pingfan used this prop to take on the storm attack of the Swallowing Mountain Patriarch. Although the wind element was forcibly absorbed, the fingertip also showed signs of cracking. In addition, Li Pingfan's ability was slightly lower at that time. After returning to the real world, he used the fingertip to shock the people who were ready to move, which further aggravated the injury of the fingertip. Fortunately, the mermaid and Jarvis are both highly intelligent creatures. The two of them joined forces and quickly found a way to repair the fingertip. Moreover, the amplifying element extracted from the or near the pyramid greatly enhanced the effect of the fingertip, making the fingertip not only completely repaired, but also surpassing the previous power. Li Pingfan raised his middle finger and inserted it into the electric grid. In a blink of an eye, the dense lightning was absorbed by him, and the electric grid flickered. The finger sleeve also emitted a golden glow. Boom. Absorb and transform the attack. A lightning shock wave rushed out from his finger sleeve. The speed of lightning was still very fast. Even if the fiery divine horse could ignore gravity and had the talent of high speed movement, it was difficult to escape the lock of lightning. Crack. Intense lightning arcs burst out from Shen Yangtai and the divine horse under his seat. Ah! Shen Yangtai cried out in pain. The previous electric screen was not very powerful because it dispersed a certain amount of current into huge dense nets to restrain the opponent. But now, the nano god level middle finger absorbed all the current, transformed it together, and condensed it into a point. The power of this arc is beyond imagination. With a bang, the current rushed out. In the blink of an eye, Shen Yangtai was wrapped up, and lightning penetrated his body, paralyzing every joint of him, and the flame horse. Both of them fell straight from the sky. Boom. Hit the ground. Li Pingfan fell down suddenly. The long sword impacted. With a click, the head of the flame horse was chopped off directly. There was no way. Li Pingfan did not have the ability to subdue the flame horse, so he could only kill it. Otherwise, if he could have such a mount, it would be quite cool. Ignoring gravity and moving at high speed. This is definitely a magical horse transformed by fighting spirit. Shen Yangtai was about to speak. The tip of the magic sword was directly at his throat. I know that the Demon King has the ability to regenerate organs, but if I dig out your head and heart at the same time, I wonder if the ability to regenerate organs will still be useful. Li Pingfan sneered. At the same time, the two super soldiers ran to the mountain that was pierced by the finger of the world-destroying finger, and lifted up the half-dead Zisha. Ha, so strong. Yi Yan looked at Li Pingfan's back, and had this idea in his mind. I'm not his opponent. I'm afraid that no one can be his opponent. He seems to be able to take on two Demon Kings easily. He is too strong. Li Pingfan threw Shen Yangtai and Zisha to the ground. At the same time, he turned off the heaven-devouring talent. The points burned too fast. In just a short while, 1,000 points were gone. It was painful. If these two guys can't reveal some useful information, I will definitely kill them. Bastard. Who helped you come to this world? Li Pingfan said in a cold tone. He felt that there must be something wrong with the two Demon Kings appearing in this world under the current circumstances. This is definitely not a coincidence. Perhaps, you still have a chance to survive. If you don't say it, then you will only die. Yi Yan stepped forward and threatened. Why waste your saliva to threaten them? I don't need them to say it, I can naturally know everything I want to know. Li Pingfan thought of Yi Yan's words and strode forward. Chapter 308 Beheading. Time, no regrets. Dig deep into memory. The two of them traveled to this world, and if no one helped, it would probably be impossible. Moreover, they just came to this world and met me, so it should be easy to dig out memories. Soon, the memories of the two people appeared. A person in a black cloak appeared and took the initiative to find Shen Yangtai and Zisha. In the picture, the person in the black cloak took the initiative to speak. You two will die in the Demon King Unification War. After that, the Black Cloak let the two of them see what happened in the Demon King Unification War. During the battle, Sheyante and Zisha were jointly killed by the three Imperial Censors. The three Imperial Censors are the ancestors of Yi Yan, Huang Xiaoan and Zeman Guanren. Do you want to live? Do you want to complete the great cause of unifying the Demon Clan? I can help you, but you have to go to the future world and help me kill someone. Her name is Jiangwana. Kill her, and I will give you powerful power. Cooperation? Or refuse to wait for death? It depends on your choice. Jiangwana? The other party's target turned out to be Jiangwana. Why is this? Jiangwana came from the Xianjian world. Li Pingfan, the foreign demon, had encountered it before. Based on his understanding of Xianjian, that creature should not be from the Xianjian world. At least he knew it had never appeared. In addition, Jiangwana had no connection with the Ace world. Why did the other party want to kill her? Could it be that Jiangwana would become a threat to the other party? In addition, you need to do another thing. In the future world, there is an Emily mountain, and there is a Xianxia sect on the mountain. I need you to use the power of the Demon King to help open the alien space channel at the bottom of the Xianxia sect. After opening it, the mission is over, and I will give you abilities that you will never get in your life. Emily Mountain, Xianxia sect. These were all founded by Li Pingfan. Why is the so-called alien space channel at the bottom of that mountain? Moreover, the power of the Demon King can open the channel? This is impossible. Why should I help you? Sheyante asked coldly. Because the alien space channel of the future world has been opened, but because the channel is too weak, no strong person in our clan can reach that world, so we can only rely on you to do it. After it is done, the strong will come. The God King will come to the world and grant you magical powers. Everything is over. No wonder the alien demons in this world are only some relatively weak existences, because the channel needs a more powerful force to open, and the power of the Demon King is the key. Why is it related to Sheyante and the others? Li Pingfan frowned. And who is the cloaked man? Why, all this is beyond his imagination. The timeline of Sheyante and his people launching the Demon King Unification War is 1860, more than 100 years ago. How did the cloaked man know that Jiangwana would come to the Ace world more than 100 years later? Could it be that the other party has the ability to travel through time? No. But if the other party can travel through space at will, why doesn't he come directly to the Ace world and kill Jiangwana? Why bother to find these two people to do it? Maybe for some reason, he can't reach this world directly. By the way, if you meet someone called Wanji Evaluator, remember to tell him a message for me. Thank you. Only 2 words. Thank you. Obviously, this is not a real thank you, but a kind of mocking thank you. Don't let me catch you. Li Pingfan clenched his fists. Sheyante and Zisha have lost their value. Li Pingfan raised his sword. He would not feel sorry. The Zisha and Sheyante he knew were reincarnated people, not them. And even if the two he knew wanted to do something to him, wanted to kill him, he would not be soft-hearted. Not to mention these two. Let me do it. Just when Li Pingfan was about to do it, a tall and slender woman with long pink hair, even wearing a black suspender bathrobe appeared out of thin air. Sister Yan. Li Pingfan looked at the visitor and asked, "It seems you recognize me." Sister Yan was very arrogant, with a cold queen style. Even though Li Pingfan was very strong, it was impossible for her to kneel down and lick him. Now you want to save people?" Li Pingfan asked back. "I was just delayed by something." Sister Yan said calmly, "They are 2 demons. I want to take them back to the underworld. Please don't stop me. You said take them away, so take them away. Can I sleep with you if I say I can?" Li Pingfan raised his middle finger and was about to cut it with his sword. Sister Yan hurriedly said, "Make some conditions." "Conditions?" "Yes, change their conditions." "Anything is fine?" Li Pingfan asked. "Anything is fine. However, I also want to advise you to seize the opportunity. There are some things that don't need to be said. Don't say them if you can." Sister Yan said coldly, and the atmosphere suddenly became extremely cold. "Okay, then get pregnant. Do you want to die?" Li Pingfan ignored Sister Yan and took out the true love glasses. After putting on the glasses, he said, "Don't get me wrong. I'm not interested in you. Although Sister Yan is very charming, she is far inferior to the succubus girl. In addition, with the cute Wang Xiaoan around, how could he look down on Sister Yan? It's just a skill. Let you experience the feeling of being pregnant. How about it? Deal? Li Pingfan asked. Okay. I'll experience the feeling of being pregnant, and then you have to hand them over to me. Sister Yan said. What is filial piety? What is love? Feel the true meaning of maternal love. Pregnancy gaze plus embryo gaze were fired together and hit Sister Yan. Suddenly, her flat belly bulged. Is this the power of pregnancy? Sister Yan was shocked. She thought it was an illusion, but this illusion was too real. Is pregnancy like this? It hurts. But it's also so comfortable. I even want the frequency to be faster. You have to do what you say. Click. Sister Yan's words have not been finished. Shen Yangte and Zisha's heads were chopped off by Li Pingfan. Sorry, I regret it again. These two guys consumed more than 1,000 of his points. If he didn't kill them, wouldn't it be too aggrieved? Besides, who do you think you are? You want to protect the people I have beaten? Haha, if you want to fight, come to me. Sister Yan is now experiencing the feeling of pregnancy. She can't fully exert her strength and can only let Li Pingfan have the final say. You remember this. Li Pingfan ignored Sister Yan. Let's go and see how the night department and Wang Shengli are doing with the shortage. Li Pingfan raised the magic sword, and he took Li Yan and Wang Xiaoan alone on the sword, rushed into the sky, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. After the three left, Sister Yan, who was pregnant, did not chase after them, but carried the bodies of Shen Yangte and Zisha. Return to the underworld. Chapter 309, Big Reshuffle. The underworld. Shen Yangte and Zisha, of course, are the two of them who have been reincarnated. Looking at the two corpses brought back by Sister Yan, he fell silent. This is us during the Demon King Unification War? Shen Yangte asked. Yes. Sister Yan stretched out her hand to rub her temples, sitting on the throne, a little depressed. Sister Yan, why were we summoned back? Is it because of them? Shen Yangte pointed at the two corpses and asked. Maybe, but it's a pity that the guy named Li Qi is too shameless. It was originally agreed that I could take these two people back, but he beheaded them. Sister Yan was extremely angry. In order to exchange for two living demon kings, she even agreed to get pregnant again. This bastard. A bastard who doesn't keep his word. He is always shameless. Student Li is a bit maverick. Zisha still likes Li Pingfan very much. She even felt that Li Pingfan's status in her mind exceeded Yan. Wait. Shen Yangte suddenly thought of something. Sister Yan, do you mean that Li Qi killed them? Is Li Qi their opponent? Sister Yan nodded. Yes, I was observing in secret. I originally planned to take action, but I didn't expect that Li Qi's trump cards would emerge in an endless stream. He killed two peak demon kings and even had spare strength. No, it's impossible. Shen Yangte felt the pressure. How could he grow so fast? He was obviously. Although Shen Yangte knew that Li Pingfan was powerful, he might not be his opponent now. But Shen Yangte also knew how strong he was in his previous life. He once thought that, if he could recover to his peak state in his previous life, Li Qi might not be his opponent. What about now? Not only him, but also Zisha. They were both killed by Li Qi. You should each move yourselves back and stay in the underworld honestly for the next period of time. Sister Yan, when can we go back? I heard that the night department is in turmoil, and this time Li Qi came back. I'm afraid something big happened. Shen Yangte asked anxiously. You can't leave. I'm really curious, who is it who can scare you like this? Shen Yangte asked unhappily. Sister Yan held her forehead. The tempers of these two demon kings are more irritable than each other. That person, I don't know who it is, but I only know one thing. He can ignore everything. The barrier of the underworld is just a decoration for him. He can come and go as he pleases. I want to ask you who can do this? Sister Yan asked. Even at the peak state, who can do it? The underworld is like that person's territory. Just before Sister Yan summoned Shen Yangte and Zisha back, the underworld welcomed a guest, a mysterious guest. Sister Yan didn't know his identity. That person said, seal Shen Yangte and Zisha in the underworld. If he can't do it, He will make Shen Yangtze and Zisha disappear forever. Alas, things are going to change after all. In the human world, Li Pingfan and his 3 companions went straight to the headquarters of the Night Department. The Night Department at this moment. Stormblood Red showed its power. Any high-tech weapons, tanks and armored vehicles were not enough to show in front of it. He was easily defeated. Wang Shengli is the Minister of Night Department, and he has very strong strength. It can even be said that to some extent, he will not lose to Sister Yan. Who is Sister Yan? She is the highest executor of the underworld, the big sister of the underworld, the boss of Zisha and Shen Yangtze. Who can deal with her? Now Wang Shengli is rushing into the Night Department. Even if there are strong people in the Night Department, they can't stop Wang Shengli, who has broken free. He is like a crazy wild dog, biting and biting. Otherwise, the position of the boss of the Night Department will easily be taken by Yi Yan, that loser. Night Department, it's about time to change the owner from today. Wang Shengli rushed into the headquarters of the Night Department and kicked open the door. Wang Shengli, don't forget that you have been dismissed from your post. The commander of the Night Department scolded Wang Shengli after seeing him. Besides, you broke into the Night Department by force. Do you know what crime you were charged with? Don't think that you can do whatever you want, just because you have some extraordinary abilities. Seeing that Wang Shengli did not speak, the man continued to scold. In this world, do you think that the things you have at your disposal are enough? Stormblood Red is indeed powerful, but how many do you have? Yes, maybe you can run wild here now, but have you thought about the future? Can Stormblood Red protect you? Wang Shengli, don't make the same mistake again and again. You are a veteran of my Night Department, and I'm very optimistic about you. If you give up the right to operate Stormblood Red now, and then hand it over, I will definitely reinstate you. Tomorrow you will still be the Shangshu of the Night Department. Just then, Li Pingfan's voice suddenly sounded from outside the door. Even if I'm reinstated, wouldn't I still be your dog? Then, what's the point? As soon as the voice fell, Li Pingfan kicked the door open and walked in. Huang Xiaoan and Yu Yang followed behind him. In addition, 3 3-meter tall super soldiers also walked in together. A dog is always a dog. No matter how high it climbs, it is still a dog. It just depends on whose dog it is. Li Pingfan walked forward. Wang Shengli had better have the awareness of the bold brother in the Silver Palace. Li Qiai. The other party glanced at the newcomer, and finally moved his eyes away from Huang Xiaoan and Yu Yan, and fell on Li Pingfan's face. Hearing is not as good as seeing. Do you mean to let Shangshu Wang be your dog? There is no need to sow discord. I'm one myself. Wang Shengli interrupted the man. Li Pingfan is here. Prove that they have solved the 2 demon kings. 2 demon kings in Peak State were actually dealt with by Li Pingfan. Being his dog may not be bad. The commander of the Night Department felt a little uncomfortable. Wang Shengli was too shameless. It's just a cobalt bomb. Wang Shengli, are you so soft? Although cobalt bombs are powerful, I don't comment on it. But, with only 1 cobalt bomb, what can you use it for? You took away the Night Department today, and you will take it back tomorrow. The commander-in-chief looked at everyone coldly. To be the supreme commander of the Night Department, he must have some strength. How could he be scared by these few words? You are not naive to think that 1 cobalt bomb can complete the big reshuffle. Wang Shengli, others don't know. Don't you know? Who told you that there is only 1 cobalt bomb? Li Pingfan opened up the Sea of Immortal Consciousness, and then other cobalt bombs also swam in the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. In addition to cobalt bombs, there is also a very scary cannon. It is called the Proton Impact Cannon. This, the Supreme Commander, do you think these cobalt bombs can be reshuffled now? If not enough, I still have some. You say how many are enough, and I will help you get a few. How about it? Li Pingfan spread his hands, and put on an attitude of being easy to talk and negotiate. I listen to you. You slowly pretend to be cool. This here, shuffle the cards, and take down the Night Department. Chapter 310. What's wrong with being a dog? Is it enough to shuffle the cards now? This sentence resounded throughout the room of the Night Department headquarters. The Supreme Commander of the Night Department headquarters, looking at the mysterious space behind Li Pingfan and the strange cobalt bombs in the space, felt unbelievable for a moment. He even felt like his face was slapped. He had said before, there is only one cobalt bomb. What do you want to do? Where to deal with it? Can you only rely on shock all the time? Now it seems that he thought too much. The other party has at least a few more cobalt bombs, which may be able to shuffle the entire planet. It is easy to destroy their night department, or even the people above the night department. Wang Shengli, I have helped you to this extent, but you still can't take down the night department? With your personality, how can you be the commander of the night department? Li Pingfan questioned. In fact, I think I can be the commander of the night department. Yu Yang coughed lightly, walked forward and patted the table. Wang Shengli grabbed Yu Yan's head and slapped him out. Night department, if you want to obey the followers, all members will be arranged, and if you want to continue to resist, you will be killed without mercy. The voice fell. With a puff, Wang Shengli raised his finger. The cold wind turned into a spike, piercing the throat of the Supreme Commander in an instant. With a puff, blood spurted out and spread all over the ground. Very strong. This blow was very terrible. As the Shangshu of the night department, Wang Shengli was able to intimidate those with superpowers, not just by talking. His strength was very strong. Even now, Li Pingfan didn't know what Wang Shengli's superpowers were and what unique abilities he had. But would it be easy to become an old acquaintance with Sister Yan in the underworld? Under the guidance of Wang Shengli, the night department was quickly cleared. Wang Shengli, I also hope you understand that to me, you are just a dog. I can support you to the position of the night department, or I can easily take you down, or even make you never stand up again. Li Pingfan said coldly. Wang Shengli nodded, not angry at all, because Li Pingfan's tone suddenly became serious. It's like this. The capable are in a high position. He is not Li Pingfan's opponent, so he doesn't need to worry too much about what he says. Would you care about the mood of an ant? Obviously not. Understood. Next, I'm going to investigate another matter. Within 5 hours, I will completely purge the night department. Wang Shengli, you have been the minister of the night department for so many years. You should have your own power. I hope you don't hide your shortcomings, and don't think about being alone. Since you are on my ship, then stay here honestly. If you have a point of strength, you must give me 2 points. Li Pingfan scolded. Don't worry, if I, Wang Shengli, can't completely control the night department within 5 hours, I will bring my head to see you. Very good. Li Pingfan listened to Wang Shengli's military order and nodded. In this case, the position of the minister of the night department is vacant. I think Yu Yan is good. The reason why Li Pingfan wants to support Yu Yan is because he likes Huang Xiaoyan. In addition to this, this person's character is also quite good. This time when he returns, he may not be able to take Huang Xiaoyan and Jiang Wana with him, so he must pave the way for them. Yu Yan is the minister of the night department, and a large part of the power in the night department will belong to Yu Yan. If someone targets Huang Xiaoyan or Jiang Wana again, Yu Yan will not fight alone, and will not be alone. Me. Yu Yan pointed at himself in surprise. He was very puzzled. He thought that he and Li Pingfan had an average relationship. Although the two did not have much conflict, they were not good friends. Because of Huang Xiaoyan, it can only be said that Yu Yan admired Li Pingfan's actions, but he just didn't like him. Yes, do a good job. Li Pingfan nodded, and then ordered, I hope to make the position of the night department Shangshu independent. The night department Shangshu can develop his own subordinates. At the same time, the night department has no right to mobilize any forces of the night department Shangshu. No problem. Wang Shengli agreed without even thinking about it. It was not like this when he was the night department Shangshu. Although the 3 major censors of the night department were all under his command, he was not the highest leader. When the high-level officials of the night department wanted to target them, they quickly disintegrated the network of people around Wang Shengli and sidelined him. Li Pingfan's move was also to ensure that Yu Yan's position as the night department Shangshu could sit more firmly. He sat firmly. Huang Xiaoyan and Jiang Wana will be safer, and Xiangsha sect will have a foothold. Wang Shengli understood that Li Pingfan's move was to guard against him targeting Yu Yan or others, but he didn't need to think about it. Since you have stood in line, just obey. Very good. Now congratulations to Commander Wang. Li Pingfan bowed and smiled. Mr. Li, what are you talking about? Without you, there would be no Wang Shengli. Wang Shengli immediately showed his loyalty. Without waiting for Li Pingfan to speak, Wang Shengli continued, Mr. Li, what about Huang Xiaoan? How to arrange it? Should I reinstate her? Or re-establish the position of the Minister of the Night Department? Li Pingfan shook his head and refused. I want to rebuild the Xianxia sect, and Huang Xiaoan will become the Grand Elder of the Xianxia sect. Li Pingfan still wanted to leave the identity of the head of the Xianxia sect to Jiang Wana. As for Huang Xiaoyan, it would be a little unsafe to be alone in the night department. The main reason was that Li Pingfan was worried that he would be harassed by that bastard Yi Yan one after another. If she joins Xianxia sect, she and Jiang Wana can also take care of each other. At the same time, Huang Xiaoyan is a person who practices swordsmanship, the Shushan sword controlling technique that Xianxia sect is proficient in is an exquisite magic among sword immortals. Mr. Li, please rest assured that my night department will become the backer of Xianxia sect. If you want to deal with Xianxia sect, please wipe out the night department first. Yes. Li Pingfan nodded. I will not interfere with the other operations of the night department. I believe Minister Wang should be able to do it well. From Shangshu Wang to Minister Wang, Wang Shengli felt so happy. What's wrong with being a dog? What's wrong with being a dog? If you find a good master, is it shameful to be a dog? Maybe a dog can become the master of the world. Next, we have to deal with something else. I hope that, when I come back, Minister Wang can give me good news. Li Pingfan answered calmly. Don't worry, Mr. Li, I will definitely do it. By the way, Mr. Li, do you need my help? No, just do your own thing. Li Pingfan doesn't want anyone to point fingers at what he does. Xiaoyan, Wana, we are leaving. Li Pingfan waved and strode out the door. When he came in, the people outside tried to stop him, but they were all knocked down by Li Pingfan. When he left, although there were still many people outside, they all lined the road to see him off. They all lowered their heads and bowed. They didn't dare to look directly at this terrifying boss. Wang Shengli, who killed the highest commander of the night department in an instant, was a dog in front of him. This, can't you see anything? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 311 Plain Space Channel. Li Pingfan has other things to do. He can't stay too long at the night department headquarters, and he has to support Wang Shengli and train Wang Shengli. If Wang Shengli can't bite people, and he, the master, has to take the lead in everything, then why keep him? Just pull 2 dogs from the market. He also has to investigate Mount Emery. The clues about Mount Emery obtained from the memories of the 2 demon kings. The rift in the alien world is actually near Mount Emery. How can I investigate this? Li Pingfan rubbed his head, a little confused. He didn't bring Yu Yan with him. There is no need to win over anyone extra. As long as you are strong enough, someone will naturally come to you and be willing to kneel beside your legs, lick your soles, and learn to bark like a dog. Mount Emery, outside the ruins of the Xianxia sect that was breached and now turned into ruins. Li Pingfan, Jiang Wana, and Huang Xiaoyan came on swords. Why do you still have to come here? Huang Xiaoyan was puzzled. Jiang Wana looked down at the ruins and said, Senior, I'm sorry. You tried your best to help me found the Xianxia sect, but now I have destroyed it. I'm sorry. Li Pingfan waved his hand and said, don't talk nonsense. The Xianxia sect is just a toy. I'll help you build a home. Think about it later. Find a beautiful mountain. I'll ask Wang Shengli to move the Xianxia sect there. It must be a beautiful place. The terrain here in Mount Emery is not high, and it is close to the beach and the tourist area. There are many tourists all year round, which is not good for the development of a sect. In particular, a silly girl like Jiang Wana who grew up in the locking demon tower can be easily deceived. The location of the Xianxia sect needs to be reconsidered. Senior, let Sister Xiaoyan take care of the Xianxia sect this time. I really can't bear the heavy responsibility. Jiang Wana still blamed herself very much, because she felt that Li Pingfan had worked hard to help her get Mount Emery and the Xianxia sect. I heard that they had signed some kind of agreement with the night department. I didn't expect that in the end, it would be destroyed so completely. Pingfan shook his head. The identity of the head of Xianxia sect must belong to you. As for Xiaoyan, I can help you manage Xianxia sect with the position of guest elder. Xiaoyan, do you have any objection? Senior Li, I will listen to you. Even if Pingfan asked Tuang Xiaoyan to be a registered disciple of Xianxia sect, she would not say anything. The two of them stopped talking. Pingfan began to investigate seriously. Xianxia sect was destroyed. It is said that the evil demons from other worlds came to this world through an alien space channel near Xianxia sect in Mount Emery. We must find a way to close the channel. If there is no way to close it, then the evil demons from other worlds may come back at any time. At that time, if he is not in this world, how can he help them? He can only do his best to do more things before leaving. There is a crack on this mountain. I know where it is. Soon, Pingfan took the two of them to the foot of the mountain. At the foot of the mountain, there is a deep cave. This should be left over from the previous war, not like it was dug by humans. The cave exudes a cold atmosphere, and gusts of wind are heard from time to time, as if there is a howling wind at the end. Interesting. Let's go in and take a look. At the end of the cave, there is a crack similar to a space wormhole. The crack is only the size of a palm, and when they walked to the end, they saw a claw that was not any known creature on Earth trying to stretch out, trying to squeeze out of the palm-sized space crack. The bridge gate connecting the two worlds. Pingfan would not make a mistake. Relying on the system, he has traveled through several planes or parallel worlds, and he still feels the breath of space wormholes. Whoosh! A sword energy slashed through, and the monster's hand was cut off by a sword. What is this? Jiang Wana asked in surprise. She has lived on Mount Emery for several months, and she never knew there was such a place, nor did she know there was such a space channel here. Huang Xiaoyan was also puzzled. Is this the passage for those evil demons from other worlds? Yes. Pingfan nodded, but because the passage has just been opened, the evil demons from other worlds are tall, and it will be difficult for them to pass through the space passage, so there are not many evil demons from other worlds in this world. The evil demons from other worlds should be intelligent creatures, otherwise, when they were weak, they would not choose to infiltrate the night department as soon as they came to this world, because they must have learned about the strength of the night department through some channels. The night department is very powerful. Infiltrating the night department is a good thing for them. At least they can take down Mount Emery. They can protect this passage between the two worlds and ensure that their subsequent support troops can continue to come to this world. But what does all this have to do with Wana? Pingfan was curious. Jiang Wana is also a visitor from another world. Could it be that the two worlds are connected? What is the connection between the world of evil demons from other worlds and the world of Xianjian where Jiang Wana is? I can't figure it out. System, please help me. Pingfan shouted in his heart. The system often opens up various space channels for him, which are space channels that shuttle through several planes. Maybe for the system, this small space channel can be closed. What a pity. The nature of the system is that, except for anything about live broadcast evaluation, I'm not online, and I'm in the stage of paddling. Ignore Pingfan's inquiry at all. I knew it, a bad thing. Pingfan did not leave hope on the system. Instead, he began to summon Jarvis through the split brain. Fortunately, there is a split brain. He can't control Ziohei in this world, nor can he control Jarvis directly. But because hybrid number 2 is bound to Pingfan's split brain, the connection between the brains can penetrate any so-called world barrier. Even if Pingfan is in another world at the moment, it doesn't matter. It will not be affected in any way, and he can still easily contact Jarvis. Jarvis, I will transfer the picture in front of me to the split brain in a while. You present the picture and look for the mermaid to see if you can know something about the space channel when you come over. Pingfan built the dark matter collector with the help of the mermaid. Later, the mermaid studied the space blade. The space blade is a technological product of the first level civilization world. The mermaid is an expert 500 years later and has also studied space. The civilization level of the world 500 years later is not far from the first level civilization world. Maybe the mermaid will have a way to help close this space channel. If the space channel is not closed, this world is too dangerous. Chapter 312 Solution. This is indeed a space channel, which meets the definition of the legendary plane world shuttle. However, you think too highly of me. I can't even successfully build a space bridge in a plane world. You want me to help you solve the problem of the space channel in the plane world. It's difficult. The mermaid rolled her eyes, looking a little frustrated. The problem is too big. I don't deserve to have a name, but I have to help you do so many things. Difficult, but there is still a way, right? Pingfan asked again. Impossible. The mermaid waved her hand. Even if I have a slight idea of how to deal with this space channel, we are not in your world, and there is no way to realize it. Even if there is an idea, if you can dispatch the ocean house over there may be a way. Am I not here? You can convey the method to Jarvis, and then I can directly implement Jarvis's data definition through the split brain. It can be done. Pingfan said. No. The mermaid said, it's not that I'll look down on you, but you don't understand these things at all. If I ask you to do it, you will only make mistakes continuously. If you are not careful, the space channel will be completely enlarged. The enlarged space channel can accommodate all kinds of creatures infinitely. At that time, the so-called evil demons from other worlds will rush in. Tell me your method first. Pingfan sighed. The mermaid's worry was not unreasonable. I have no way to close the space channel of the plane world. Any knowledge I have come into contact with in the civilized world is just a guess about the space channel of the plane world. It's just that the basis for the guess is slightly stronger than the basis for the guess in the world you are in now. Secondly, what I have come into contact with is just the theory of the internal space bridge channel of the same plane world, which is roughly similar to the space blade, but our world cannot create the space blade. You should know the difference. My method is really not enough to help you. The gap is too big. You found the wrong person. But you still developed the dark matter collector. You are very capable, but you don't know it. Moreover, for me, the definition of civilization has nothing to do with time. It's just because of some coincidence that human civilization discovered something, which led to a step forward. Your knowledge storage should not be inferior to that of people in the first level civilized world. Go ahead and do it. I believe in you. There is no way. Who made the system? That pit is pretending to be a dead fish and never spoke, otherwise it would not come to ask the mermaid like this. Well, let me tell you about my idea. The mermaid sighed. Please go ahead. Before I talk about the idea, I want to ask you a question. I know you have a storage space similar to the one in fantasy novels. Do you have a dark matter collector? I built a lot of dark matter collectors for you. The mermaid said. Don't worry, of course I have. What about the Spaceblade 2.0 version that I helped you imitate? Do you have it with you? Yes. Pingfan was worried about what might happen in the alien world, so he carried most of the props with him. The Spaceblade was imitated by the mermaid, made from the internal structure of the original Spaceblade, and it has achieved initial results. The 2.0 version can achieve short distance space movement, that is, a range of kilometers, by absorbing dark matter. It is not like the space blade, which can cut space at will, as long as it is its recording point, and can go wherever it wants. What should I do next? Pingfan asked. First, find a cemetery. Cemetery? Find a cemetery for those demons from other worlds. Didn't you say that the hellfire of extermination can annihilate the souls of those demons? Find a place to fill the hellfire of extermination. I can't close the channel to the other world, but I can use the dark matter collector in the Spaceblade 2.0 to temporarily build a space bridge. I understand. Pingfan has heard what the mermaid meant. Use the dark matter collector in the Spaceblade 2.0 to build a space bridge, and then connect the starting point of this space bridge with the starting point of the two-world channel. After doing this, even if the demons from other worlds can come to this world through the two-world channel, they will fall into the space bridge the next moment. The end. It is the cemetery arranged by Pingfan. This is the only way. Although it is only a temporary solution, it is the most effective way at present. How long will it take to be done? Pingfan asked. If I'm with hybrid number 2, maybe it will be completed within 5 days. The mermaid said seriously. Pingfan collapsed. I'm going to do it in 1 day this time. Are you sure it will take 5 days? If I have 5 days, why would I be so anxious to ask you? The mermaid was helpless. If it were you, with your execution ability, 10 days or half a month might be enough to succeed. Knock. It was uncomfortable. What to do? There were less than 10 hours left. There is another way. Maybe you can't bear to give it up. The mermaid suddenly spoke. Tell me, don't you still have Friday? After saying this, the mermaid stopped talking. If I let Friday start the operation now, how long will it take? 3 days. You can think about how to do it specifically. I will sort out the specific steps right now. In short, you decide everything. The mermaid's words meant that, if you want to take on this mess, then be prepared to leave the Mark 50 behind. Is it still necessary to consider it? Pingfan didn't think about it. Friday is not very useful to him now. He can leave it behind. Xiaoyan, I want to give you something. Pingfan considered it. It's not that he trusts Huang Xiaoyan and doesn't trust Jiangwana. It's just because the target of the evil demon from another world is Jiangwana. If Jiangwana is allowed to take risks here, it will easily cause trouble. What? Pingfan lifted his clothes. Ah. Huang Xiaoyan and Jiangwana screamed and immediately turned their heads away with red faces. What are you doing? What time is it? Don't you know the place? And there are 2 girls. You can't be so crazy. You actually want to do that kind of thing. Pingfan took off the steel llama's wearer. I'll leave this thing to you. I will leave this world in 10 hours, and there is another important thing I must do, so I can't stay here, and I can't take you away with me. Xiaoyan, you will help me, right? This is the steel llama, my favorite thing, and it is also my family heirloom. Now I leave it to you. Heirloom. After hearing these 3 words, Huang Xiaoyan could no longer hear anything else. Is he going to recognize her? Wait for me, I will definitely come back. Chapter 313. The scumbag goes further and further. Pingfan has arranged everything. Huang Xiaoyan will help build the space bridge by wearing Friday. What Pingfan needs to do now is to find a good place. Use it as a cemetery for these alien demons. As for the location, he chose a place near the cave, and this was also to protect Huang Xiaoyan. Because he couldn't teach Huang Xiaoyan the hell extinguishing god fire. If he could, he would definitely choose to teach Huang Xiaoyan the hell extinguishing god fire. Remember, when building the bridge, if something unexpected happens, you must escape to the range of the extinguishing god fire. Pingfan dug 2 deep passages to the side through this passage. One of them leads to the outside of the mountain, and the other leads deep into the tomb. He specially designed a mechanism near the passage outside the mountain. When Huang Xiaoyan escapes, the passage outside the mountain can be completely sealed, so that those demons can't escape. When the escape passage is closed, the passage of the tomb will open, and endless hell extinguishing god fire will gush out. You are leaving again. Huang Xiaoyan was a little disappointed. I will be back. Pingfan and Huang Xiaoyan stood alone on the top of the mountain. Jiangwana didn't bother them, but went to sit down next to a grave. Father, I know I'm worthy of Senior Li. Senior Li and Sister Xiaoyan are really a perfect match. They are really good. Senior Li just left all the heirlooms to Sister Xiaoyan. What I can do is to help Senior Li and help him build the Xianxia sect. Actually, I really wanted to leave with you last time. Huang Xiaoyan lowered her head and said, I understand. You really won't blame me for not choosing to leave with you? No. Pingfan shook his head. Please believe me, I will come back. When? Huang Xiaoyan asked expectantly. When spring comes and flowers bloom. Pingfan stretched. He couldn't make a promise. Time passed by little by little. Are you angry that I asked you to serve as the guest elder of the Xianxia sect? Pingfan asked. No. Huang Xiaoyan shook her head blankly. Silly boy, I know you can't go back to Yuxu Peak now, but you can't bear to leave Yuxu Peak, so I'll let you serve as a guest elder, and I will help you go back in the future. Pingfan said with a smile. But, I'm not going back. Huang Xiaoyan interrupted Pingfan, and said without thinking. Are you worried about your master's attitude? Don't worry, I'm here, I will help you solve it. No. Huang Xiaoyan shook her head. But she didn't say anything. Pingfan didn't ask anymore. She said she wouldn't go back. Not that she didn't want to go back. She did want to go back to Yuxu Peak, but she wanted to be with you, a scumbag, more. Idiot. By the way, you must keep the heirloom well. I have been carrying it with me since I was a child. It is a gift from my parents. It can protect my parents. They will feel at ease knowing that I carry it with me. And now, I give it to you. You carry it with you. I will feel at ease. It will protect you for me. Li Pingfan's affectionate look touched Huang Xiaoyan. She couldn't help it anymore. Because if you endure it, you might regret it. Huang Xiaoyan, who dived into Li Pingfan's arms, raised her head and offered her red lips. A passionate kiss. The moonlight was eclipsed. The night department has now been integrated by Li Pingfan, and Wang Shengli has completely reshuffled the cards. The entire night department is controlled by Wang Shengli, and Wang Shengli will be loyal to Li Pingfan. In the following time, Li Pingfan went to see Wang Shengli, reselected a site, and rebuilt the Xianxia sect. This time, the night department fully supports the development of the Xianxia sect, and I believe that when I come back next time, Jiang Wana can also deserve the title of King Growl Patriarch. Time keeps passing. Li Pingfan and Huang Xiaoyan were alone for a while. I went to see Jiang Wana again. Jiang Wana was still in front of the short grave. She was a girl who spoke very little. Even if there was something in her heart, she would not tell others. Don't share happiness with others. Don't share sadness with others. This girl has a bit of a silly and sweet personality. Wana, I'm really disappointed that the Xianxia sect was destroyed. Li Pingfan said with a straight face. It's useless to say comforting words. Instead of being useless, it's better to do the opposite. I'm sorry. Jiang Wana didn't expect Li Pingfan to come to her. But if you can run the next Xianxia sect well, I will forgive you. Li Pingfan said seriously. He wanted to give Jiang Wana some motivation. Otherwise, it would be difficult for Jiang Wana to do well. She would never grow up. I will. Okay, I believe you. Are you leaving? Almost. The time is up. Li Pingfan opened the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. 4 super soldiers came out. I will leave the 4 of them to you, and let the 4 of them serve as the 4 guardians of Xianxia sect, and protect Xianxia sect. No. Jiang Wana quickly refused. She had accepted Stormblood Red before. How could she still accept Li Pingfan's care blindly now? Listen to me. The 4 of them will serve as the 4 guardians. While protecting Xianxia sect, they will also protect you for me. Only then can I rest assured. Li Pingfan's words cannot be refused. Jiang Wan looked up at Li Pingfan with tears in her eyes, not knowing what to say. Stormblood Red is still the guardian beast of our Xianxia sect. Listen to my arrangements. Be good. Li Pingfan was like a domineering president. Jiang Wana nodded. Because she heard it. Our Xianxia sect. Senior Li did not treat her as an outsider, but as one of his own. I will definitely not let you down. Jiang Wana clenched her fists. Very serious. Very good. I left these 4 for you. Since I was a child, the 4 of them have protected me. They are gifts from my parents. Li Pingfan began to make up stories affectionately. Recalling the past. Jiang Wana listened naively, and she believed it. 4 super soldiers have been with me for more than 20 years. With them protecting me, my parents will feel at ease. After that, he turned around and looked at Jiang Wana. Now, they come to accompany you, and I will feel at ease. Li Pingfan was still affectionate, and no one knew that he had just made up these words too. Huang Xiaoyan. Thank you. Jiang Wana lowered her head. I'm so embarrassed. Senior, I will definitely cherish it. Unlike Huang Xiaoyan, Jiang Wana is very shy. Like a lady from a noble family, she keeps the person she likes in her heart. She won't say anything cheesy. She doesn't dare to throw herself into Li Pingfan's arms, let alone expect him to like her. Just like that, a little bit of care will do. It's settled. Li Pingfan breathed a sigh of relief. When he gave the Mark 50 to Huang Xiaoyan earlier, he noticed Jiang Wana's disappointment. Now it's done. Could it be that I'm really going further and further down the path of a scumbag? Chapter 314. The dragon egg is in trouble. Back to reality. Old Li is really going further and further down the path of a scumbag. Why do I feel like I've cheated on someone and come back again? Besides, this wave of losses is huge. The Iron Armor Mark 50, which accompanied him for many days, was left to Huang Xiaoyan. It's not too much. It's not too much to steal someone's heart and give them the Mark 50. Super Soldier Warrior is more like a free ticket. Anyway, there is an arsenal. Can the resources of the moon be consumed in a few minutes? It's just bragging. I'm a scumbag. A scumbag. Stormblood Redly Pingfan didn't plan to take it back. What about iron armor? If there is a chance to get Mark 85, it would be great. Of course, this is not impossible. Sure enough, this talisman can't bring other people from that world on the return journey. In order to verify this situation, when Li Pingfan left, he did not choose to leave the last time to Huangxiaoan or Jiangwana. Instead, he went to find Yi Yan. Of course, Li Pingfan is not gay, and he doesn't plan to curry favor with Yi Yan. He wants to do an experiment. Let's see if the effect of the spell can wrap up Yi Yan and take him away when he is with Yi Yan and waiting for the separation. After all, no one knows. The system doesn't fart. There is no mention of this in the introduction of the talisman's function. Therefore, Li Pingfan can only do experiments. How dangerous is it to travel between two worlds? How can it be possible to use Jiangwana and Huangxiaoan for experiments? It must be Yi Yan. Anyway, Yi Yan likes Huangxiaoan and has been generating electricity for love for a long time. It is not too much to sacrifice for love now. It's a pity that Yi Yan doesn't know these things, otherwise, he might go crazy. I can't contact Friday now. Friday is different from Jarvis. The two may be similar in intelligence level. However, one thing should be clear. Hybrid number 2 is directly connected to Li Pingfan's brain. It is a sub-brain bred in the brain. It can be said that hybrid number 2 shares Li Pingfan's sub-brain. Therefore, under this premise, no matter what world Li Pingfan is in, as long as his brain waves can still function normally, he can communicate with hybrid number 2. But Friday didn't. Now Friday is in the Ace world, in Huangxiaoan's hands, and Li Pingfan can't help. There is a reason to leave Friday. After all, Huangxiaoan has to wear armor to connect the space bridge with the crack between the two worlds. The process is very dangerous. If the evil demons from the other world rush out, Huangxiaoan needs to escape from the cave as soon as possible. Li Pingfan installed a mechanism at the entrance of the cave. After the mechanism is triggered, the rich hellfire will gush out. Huangxiaoan has a soul in her body. The hellfire has no effect on her body, but it will burn Huangxiaoan's soul. And Huangxiaoan's speed is not as fast as imagined. The speed of the steel armor pushing at full force can just make up for this defect. The powerful firepower can also help seal the cave, ensure that the evil demons from the other world can be killed, and then take Huangxiaoan away. I don't know what their situation is. Li Pingfan sighed. I wanted to be a scumbag. In the end, I became a passionate scumbag. Whose scumbag would leave so many precious things? This one-day trip to the Ace world was really worthwhile. He knew a lot of strange things, and there were also many mysteries that he couldn't figure out. A few days later, the night before the live broadcast, Li Pingfan walked out of the training of the virtual reality experience device. His physical fitness is now very terrible. Without the help of external objects, he can even fight a super soldier for dozens of rounds. Although the super soldier was left in the Ace world by Li Pingfan, the factory on the moon is still producing it. For example, the super soldier who just finished sparring with Li Pingfan is a brand new product. Fighter. The opponent's hands are two thick and powerful gloves. The tail of the gloves is connected by hydraulic pressure. It can be ejected when necessary. The powerful propulsion power and energy can cause great destruction to these two gloves. If I were to fight with Chadutehu now, I might not need the Messiah Fist at all. I can compete with him with the combat power of my flesh alone. Li Pingfan has this confidence in his heart. This is not arrogance. It's a fact. Come to think of it, I haven't really played with the arena challenge ticket. Li Pingfan spent most of his time using the Extreme Warrior badge to seal the peak state of his physical combat power, and then constantly honed himself through the virtual reality experience device. After all, you are not sure what will be summoned in the arena, and you are not sure what the opponent will explode. If it is a native brother with a strong desire to survive, you can't practice anything by fighting with him. The garbage talent that exploded, do you want it or not? It's a death wish. If you have time, you can try it. Li Pingfan rubbed his fists. His current idea is to accept the task of evaluating props for tomorrow's live broadcast first and learn more about it in detail so that he can prepare in advance. CF Xiaoyan has replied. Li Pingfan couldn't help it before. He left a note in Huang Xiaoyan's Sea of Immortal Consciousness. He paid close attention to the crack between the two worlds that appeared in the Ace world. No, maybe he is still busy building a bridge. Li Pingfan sighed. The note he left in Huang Xiaoyan's Sea of Immortal Consciousness has not been taken away, proving that Huang Xiaoyan has no time to check the Sea of Immortal Consciousness during this period. Li Pingfan didn't want to affect him, so he simply withdrew. Just after leaving Huang Xiaoyan's Sea of Immortal Consciousness, Li Pingfan's consciousness stayed in his own Sea of Immortal Consciousness space. The beautiful purple key of faith in the source sea space seemed to have increased. Stop absorbing. Most of the purple key in the Sea of Immortal Consciousness came from the Xuanfa world, and some of it spread from the subordinate world of the Silver Palace, and some of it came from Li Pingfan's own fans. But these are a minority. Far less than the big players in the Xuanfa world. The only ones that consume the purple key of faith are the dragon eggs and the magic sword. The magic sword refines a wisp of purple key of faith almost every day, and it can't show anything at all. But the dragon egg is a bottomless pit, and the speed of the increase of purple key of faith is far slower than the absorption of the dragon egg. This is why Li Pingfan basically never use the purple key of faith to bless when fighting. It's not necessarily that the dragon egg can eat it. After all, if you collect the dragon egg, you can't really not hatch it. Crack. A cracking sound was heard in the quiet Sea of Origin. A strong light completely enveloped the dark Sea of Origin, and then thunder rumbled from somewhere. Li Pingfan's eyes quickly caught the source of the light. It was the huge dragon egg floating in the Sea of Origin. The dragon egg was purple all over, like a gem. But now, there were countless cracks on the gem. Chapter 315, Breaking the Shell. Crack. The cracking sound is getting louder and louder. It is visible to the naked eye. Dense cracks are all over the dragon egg. Damn it, the dragon egg is not going to hatch, is it? Damn, it has swallowed so much of my faith purple energy, and it is finally going to be born. Li Pingfan immediately exited the space of the Sea of Immortal Consciousness, and released the dragon egg at the same time. Li Pingfan was not sure whether the Sea of Immortal Consciousness could accommodate living things. Since he had the power to open up the Sea of Immortal Consciousness, he had tried this. He could not put any living things into the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. From an ant to insects, fish, birds, beasts, any living creatures, they could not be put in. But eggs can. For example, chicken eggs and duck eggs, no matter whether they are raw or cooked. Perhaps before they are hatched, they are not considered living things by definition, which is why dragon eggs can be placed in the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. But now, the dragon egg may break at any time, and the dragon will be born. If the dragon egg is killed immediately, after encountering the mandatory setting of the Sea of Immortal Consciousness, it will really be a loss. The dragon that had been dealt with so much faith purple energy was now killed by the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. It was such a loss. Li Pingfan could beat himself to death with a big fight. After the dragon egg was released, the sky of the entire ocean house seemed to be shrouded in purple gold brilliance. The purple color came from the powerful faith purple energy absorbed by the dragon gallbladder, and the gold color seemed to be spit out from the inside of the dragon egg, gushing out along the cracks, rushing up to the sky, and covering the sky perfectly. The mountain swallowing beast instinctively fell from the air, knelt on the ground, and trembled all over. As for the other three beasts, it was even more so. Their reaction was even stronger than that of the mountain swallowing beast. They were completely prostrated, as far away from the range of the dragon egg as possible, and did not dare to come forward, let alone raise their eyes to take a look. The mermaid was also implicated. She was originally helping Li Pingfan do some scientific research experiments. For example, experiments related to the space blade. Li Pingfan wanted to try whether he could master the ability to cut the space between the two realms. The mermaid stumbled out of the laboratory. Li Pingfan, what are you doing? Where does this invisible pressure come from? The mermaid held the railing. Her body was weak, and she couldn't help wanting to kneel down. Li Pingfan walked forward, walked to the side of the mermaid, stood in front of her, and resisted this invisible pressure for her. the pressure disappeared and the mermaid recovered a little, but she still had no strength in her body and she became panic. The mermaid is a human, but because she has merged the genes of fish, in a sense, she is half human and half fish. In this state, she will naturally be affected by the Dragon King. This is a divine dragon. Its influence is naturally beyond imagination, coming from the suppression of blood. Even if it is not hostile, this pressure is uncontrollable. The reason why the mountain swallowing beast is less affected is that it also has a very high bloodline, but it can't suppress the pressure of the dragon bloodline. Therefore, the impact it receives will be greatly reduced relatively speaking. Crack. Another crisp sound. The eggshell was already covered with cracks. It seemed that, if he only needed to touch it lightly, the whole dragon egg would completely break into countless tiny pieces in an instant. Pingfan was nervous. The mermaid beside him was a little confused. Dragon? Yes, you and I may be the first people in the world to witness the birth of a dragon. Pingfan said excitedly. Recorder, record it. Record the birth of the dragon egg for me completely. Pingfan had his own plans. He wanted to post the video of the birth of the dragon egg on the internet, although he also thought about what kind of sensation it would cause once the video was released. Don't you want to keep a low profile? Low profile? What the hell? I have already broken through this copy of the earth. Now even if I reveal my identity, who can provoke me? Or provoke the people around me? Pingfan asked. The mermaid thought about it, and it was really like this. The strongest on earth. Silver Palace. Now it is the puppet army supported by the master in front of him. As for them in China. Haha, let alone. Except for the Yuxu Palace, that has been courting death. Other forces either stay away from Pingfan, or cater to him like Mr. Long. Well, I suddenly remembered that there is a dog in Yuxu Palace living well outside. Pingfan rubbed his head and said. Don't worry, when you went to the SCP World to Live broadcast, hybrid number 2 visited, and didn't do much, just cut off an arm. The mermaid explained. I almost forgot. Well done. Pingfan nodded with relief. Now he doesn't care to think so much. He doesn't even want to think about the props for tomorrow's live broadcast. He just wants to focus on the birth of this dragon. Dragon, I didn't expect that there are really such creatures in the world. The mermaid said. Not necessarily. Pingfan stared at the dragon egg with a sharp gaze. Perhaps, the legends about dragons, left in ancient times are just some kind of product of another world. Just like the mountain-eating beast you saw in the future. Pingfan's words are not unreasonable. If there are really dragons on Earth, why is there no evidence until now? Not even a little bit can be found. Therefore, there is no way to conclude that dragons really existed on Earth. No, maybe they did. Just like now, isn't Pingfan hatching a dragon on Earth? But it is very likely not an original creature on Earth. Perhaps, like the mountain swallowing beast, it comes from another world. It's terrifying to think about it. If this is true, it proves that there were travelers on Earth hundreds or thousands of years ago, and they were the kind that could travel between the two worlds at will. At least that person brought a dragon back to Earth. Otherwise, why do the dragons recorded in the legends of Earth look almost the same as the real dragons? Is it just based on imagination? It shouldn't be like this. It's hatched. The mermaid's words interrupted Pingfan's thoughts. Pingfan immediately stepped forward. Everyone in front of the live camera, you will follow me to witness the birth of the first dragon on Earth. Yes, you all heard it right. It's a dragon. Of course, I can't be sure if it is the first dragon on Earth, but I can be sure that it must be the only dragon on Earth at present. As soon as the voice fell, the dragon egg completely shattered. The fragments fell to the ground. The golden light and purple aura rushed up to the sky like crazy. Then a dragon roar resounded through the ocean house, wrapped in purple and golden light. A beam of light rushed up to the sky. It seemed to connect the sky and the earth. In this beam of light, what can be seen with the naked eye is a dragon. A dragon is circling and ascending to the sky, higher and higher. Damn, the recorded broadcast is not as exciting as the live broadcast. Let's start a temporary live broadcast and release the previously recorded footage. Chapter 316. Overcoming the Tribulation. Fuck. Has the reviewer dad started live again? What's the show today? Looking forward to it. It's not the day yet. Luckily the reviewer dad is my special concern. Otherwise I would have missed this live broadcast. I just saw a short video posted by the reviewer, but I haven't had time to watch it yet. The title of the short video is "The Only Dragon on Earth." What the hell is the live broadcast summoning the dragon? The 7 dragon balls were collected so quickly. Summon the dragon. Make a wish to get the Aladdin lamp. Make 2 wishes. After getting the lamp, then make another wish to collect the 7 dragon balls, and then make another wish to get a new Aladdin lamp. After falling into an infinite loop, host, you will be invincible and reach the peak of your life from now on. Fuck, what did I just see? Is that a dragon in the beam? It's really a dragon. It can't be the Dragon King, the dragon egg you got from the zoo for world. How did you hatch it? You didn't buy an incubator. How big an incubator would you need for such a dragon egg? Bullshit. The dragon seems to be escaping. The barrier in the sky of Ocean House cannot stop the dragon. Pingfan was afraid of causing any harm to Ocean House, so he immediately dispersed the barrier in the sky and let the beam rush into the sky. What is the dragon going to do? Why is it getting higher and higher? Everyone, this is indeed the dragon egg obtained from the zoo for world. The former Dragon King of the zoo for world has just hatched. I will start the live broadcast immediately to share this scene with everyone. Fuck, if it was someone else, I would never believe it. I would definitely spray him, but I believe in you. The reviewer dad. Wife, come out to see the dragon. It flew into the sky. Won't the anchor stop it? It won't fly away just after hatching. Pingfan had tried it a long time ago, but the purple gold fusion beam had an influence that Pingfan could not break through. He couldn't rush up. He could only let the dragon continue to rush towards the sky. I was in Gangcheng and saw it. I saw with my own eyes the towering beam connecting the sky and the ocean. Is the girl from Gangcheng? Is the avatar the real person? I was in Liansao and saw the towering beam of light. It's not fake. It's a little bit flaky. It's the real person. Girl, I want to ask you a question. Look at the green submariner on my hand. Does it affect my ability to drive a Ferrari with one hand? This question is really hard to answer. Wait a minute. Wait until I stop the Bentley and I'll help you think about it. Ha 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 ha, you're bragging too much. It's so funny. You're driving a Ferrari with one hand. Speaking of which, I'm also from Gangcheng. Everyone in our school went to the playground and looked at the towering beam of light. The beam of light connects the sky. Several coastal cities near the Ocean House and even slightly closer inland cities can see this beam of light. It's terrible. It's really too fierce. Mr. Reviewer, I'm from the Meteorological Administration. When the beam of light towered, a sea area within the scope of the Ocean House was frantically gathering black clouds. Pingfan had previously moved the Ocean House out to shock the Silver Palace. After ending his rule over the Silver Palace, he dispatched the Ocean House back. He was still used to living in the waters near the Gangnam Strait. Once you get used to living in one place, you don't like to change places all the time. The black clouds immediately covered the sky, and thunder rolled in the black clouds, as if it could destroy the world at any time. The strange thing is that the water vapor content in those black clouds is not very large, which is very strange. This level of thick clouds will at least be a rainstorm, even if it is a short rainstorm. But this amount of water vapor is not enough to make it rain. Miracles. Do you still need to consider it? The dragon has been born, and you still need to think about other things? What a possibility. Host, do you think it is related to the birth of the dragon? Pingfan was silent. At this moment, 2 words appeared in his mind. Heavenly tribulation. It fits the setting of the fantasy world. Anyone who wants to go against the will of heaven will suffer from the heavenly tribulation. Not only the human race. Some tyrannical people born in the world will also suffer from the heavenly tribulation. Even some powerful weapons are the same. When they are born, they need to bear the heavenly tribulation before they can be reasonably integrated into the world. This is responding to the tribulation. Sure enough, after the black clouds covered the sky, after the dragon rose to a certain height, it also stopped. Crack. At the moment of stopping, there was a loud bang, and then a golden lightning fell from the black cloud and struck the dragon. A roar. The light beam completely shrank and was sucked into the dragon. A brand new dragon appeared in the sky. Let the thunder fall on it. It's really a tribulation. Wife, come out to see the tribulation. There will be a god soon. A dragon in the tribulation period. You have to post it. The one who just passed the tribulation is born. This is a macho man. No, I remember it was a girl. Tribulation. The mighty dragon. I'm the strongest on land. All kinds of irrelevant barrages rushed out. Pingfan is now paying full attention to the dragon. You're the one who's going to get over here. It took me so much faith and purple energy to hatch you. If you're struck by lightning now, I'll kill you. Pingfan roared. In fact, the worry of the gift cabinet fans was a little redundant, at least now. How could the dragon not be able to withstand these few thunders? That would be too bad. Crack. The thunder fell again. But this time, the dragon became stronger. It opened its mouth wide and bit at the thunder, biting it into pieces, and the electric current ran through its body. Soon, including the first thunder, a total of 9 thunders fell, all of which struck the dragon. After the 9 thunders were struck, it entered a short rest period. Is it over? Pingfan was a little curious, but he thought it shouldn't be that simple. How could the heavenly tribulation be passed as easily as playing house? That's right. The dragon couldn't leave the area covered by the thunderclouds, and the black clouds in the sky didn't mean to dissipate, but were gathering more powerful thunder. Boom. The momentum became stronger. The second wave of thunder came even more fiercely. If each of the 9 thunders in the first wave was as thick as a bowl, the thunder now seemed as thick as a basin to the naked eye. Compared with the regular thunder in the first wave, the second wave was even more irregular. 3 thunders fell at the same time in the first time. All of them hit the dragon. Then, a thunder fell, and another one hit it. Fortunately, the dragon could still bear it, and floated in the air without being knocked down. Boom. The next moment, 4 thunders fell, and the dragon seemed to have turned into a golden thunderball, and its body was completely covered and wrapped by thunder. The endless thunder light filled the sky. It was continuous, and could not be dispersed. Chapter 317. 4 phases of disaster. Amazing. It's not really cooked. It's so scary. Should the anchor consider installing a lightning rod for the dragon? This should only be the beginning. I don't know when it will end. The pressure is great. The audience in the live broadcast room were also whetted their appetites, and they were nervously watching the dragon. But it didn't last long. The lightning bolt dissipated, and the dragon reappeared in the field of vision. Are you really not going to help? Thunder, you should be able to help divert it, or help it reduce some damage? The mermaid asked. Pingfan shook his head. This is what it should bear. Just like when a chick hatches, if you don't let it peck the shell by itself, it will easily die. The current dragon also means this. This is a baptism of heaven for it. If others intervene, the result will not be ideal. Moreover, Pingfan believes that the dragon can make it through. The Dragon King in the previous life couldn't even bear this wave of heavenly tribulation. If he really can't bear it, then what's the use of you? Crack. The third wave of thunder is coming. Just as Pingfan guessed, the third wave of thunderbolts was missing one. 7 thunderbolts rushed in and fell together. He could clearly see that some purple blood flowed out of the dragon's flesh, and the blood dripped down, and 1 drop could soak the sea. This is only the third wave. It is very likely that this wave of thunderbolts will last for a total of 9 waves. Can it really withstand it? Pingfan was not sure. After the third wave of thunder fell swiftly, there was no pause. After each wave of thunderbolts ended, there would be a gap for a period of time for the dragon to catch its breath. But this time, the 4th wave of thunderbolts swarmed in. There was a loud bang. The sky was shrouded in white light. The dragon called out. But after the 4th wave of thunderbolts dissipated, there was finally time to pause. Endless thunderbolts were wrapped around the dragon's body, and the thunderbolts wrapped its body, wandering around freely, looking very scary. Heartache. Suddenly felt an indescribable heartache. Alas, if I could, I really want to help it bear all this. Go over and be cannon fodder? Don't bother them. Even if they really attack, there is a host. The host will not watch the dragon die. It's a pity that I can't see it with my own eyes, but everyone, look, this dragon is much bigger than before. If the dragon that just broke out of its shell was only 1 meter long, then the dragon's body length, after absorbing the light beam, is just about 2 meters. Now, after enduring 4 waves of thunder attacks, the dragon's body length has reached at least 5 meters, and as it continues to absorb the thunder spirit power wrapped around its body, its injuries have also recovered. Not only that, but its body length is also increasing. Although the thunder tribulation is dangerous, it is obvious that the dragon is also growing. Pingfan said, "Even if I don't grow, I don't want to experience such a dangerous thing. I just want to be a simple survivor." The mermaid shrugged, indicating that she had no intention of being tempted. Soon, the 5th thunder came. It was different from the previous ones. The thunder lost its number of divisions and constructed the appearance of monster in the air. No, to be more precise, it should be a beast of auspiciousness. It was a black tortoise. Carrying the heavy tortoise shell, she roared and rushed towards the dragon. Dragon turtle or Zuanwu beast. The shape of this thing is very similar to the dragon turtle in the legend. The dragon turtle rushed forward madly. The dragon also burst out with a strong momentum. With a roar, she rushed towards the dragon turtle. Boom. Actively welcomed the battle. The thunder wrapped it again. Unlike before, the thunder that wrapped the dragon this time turned into a tortoise shell. The dragon kept moving its body in the air, and there was a loud crack. She broke free from the restraints of the tortoise shell and surged into the sky. Extremely powerful. The shattered tortoise shell turned into spiritual light, caught up with the dragon, and wrapped around its body. The spiritual light turned into scales of armor bit by bit. This is to enhance the defensibility of the dragon. A moment later, the thunder cloud swallowed and spit out again. This time, a colorful phoenix with its wings spread came out, and the colorful phoenix was covered with lightning plasma. The two fought in the air for hundreds of rounds. The air was constantly exploding, and the sea surface was also rolling with waves. After a long time, the colorful phoenix was bitten by the dragon's neck. After a few strong swings, the colorful phoenix suddenly exploded. With a bang, lightning turned into flames, and the endless sea of fire wrapped around the dragon, constantly burning and churning. The dragon was in it, and no one knew how to help it. This should be for the dragon, to condense the dragon soul. Because Pingfan had absorbed the soul of the dragon before, and trained the immortal dragon soul, he could now clearly see that there was a shadow on the dragon's body that was reborn again and again in the flames. The phoenix was reborn in the fire. That's it. Interesting. How much powerful power can this dragon absorb? Pingfan was silent. It was obviously just a dragon. Why could it attract the visions of the 4 great beasts when it crossed the calamity? Now Pingfan was sure that the one that appeared before was definitely the black tortoise, not the dragon turtle among the 9 sons of the dragon. Next, it should be the divine beast tiger. According to the setting, the real dragon must be the last to appear. Sure enough, a majestic tiger rushed out. Thunder and lightning were wrapped around the tiger's body. It opened its mouth and showed its sharp fangs. This should be a competition of fighting power. A hearty and fierce battle lasted for more than an hour. More than an hour later, the dragon rushed out. It was covered with blood, as if some scales had been torn off. There were 2 holes on its neck, which should have been bitten by the tiger. Is it the last one? Without giving a breath, the thunder surged. And, with a long roar, the thunder dragon roared. After circling in the sky for several times, it rushed down suddenly. The momentum was fierce. The two faced each other. The thunder clouds were shaken apart. The sky was silent. However, the scattered thunder clouds gathered together again. After the light faded, the sound of dragon roars continued. For a moment, it seemed as if the end of the world had arrived. The sea was surging. The seabed was constantly collapsing, and the powerful momentum made Pingfan feel a little cold in his heart. So strong. The dragon seemed to have lost consciousness, slowly falling from the sky, covered with wounds. Maybe it was just hanging on for a breath, or maybe it couldn't withstand the heavenly tribulation. It should be considered a win. Pingfan was extremely nervous, clenching his fists, and his nails dug into his palms. Crack. The thundercloud made a burst of noise again. Damn, there's more. Pingfan immediately activated the 10,000 dragon scale armor and stepped on the magic sword at the same time. Sure enough, the thundercloud once again sprayed out a white beam of light, rushing towards the dragon that was constantly falling. Protective purple key. Pingfan clenched his fists. The purple key of faith was mobilized by him and wrapped around his body. The last heavenly tribulation. Your master, I will bear it. Break it for me. Pingfan held the huge purple key in both hands and slammed it into the sky. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 318, Heavenly Tribulation Baptism. The ability of the 10,000 dragon scale armor was fully activated by Pingfan. He held up a shield made of spiritual power in both hands, rushed to the sky, passed through the Shenlong, and resisted in the direction of the calamity cloud. This last blow was too terrifying. It did not have the momentum of the previous 4-phase calamity thunder. Instead, it had a smell similar to the first wave of calamity thunder. It was an extremely plain calamity thunder, emitting a pure white glow, falling from the thunder cloud. But it was just such a calamity thunder that made Pingfan feel uneasy. Anchor, are you going to help the Shenlong? Damn, I remember reading in the novel that if an outsider breaks into the calamity thunder, he will be mistaken for a calamity survivor by the calamity thunder, and the power of the calamity will increase exponentially. If you can't bear it, maybe we will have to light wax on the reviewer. What the hell, these statements are all false, they should be false. These are just some unfounded statements. Pingfan said, there are countless lives in the space, covered by the calamity cloud. If it really needs to double, it would have increased long ago. Hold on. After Pingfan explained, he tried his best to deal with the calamity cloud in the sky. He mobilized the purple key of faith in the sea of immortal consciousness. Now he didn't have to worry about the dragon egg swallowing the purple key of faith, so he could squander it to his heart's content. Hey, don't die for me, isn't this your favorite thing to eat? Hurry up, stand up for me. After Pingfan mobilized the purple key of faith from the space of the sea of immortal consciousness, he split it into two streams, one of which covered the dragon shield, and the other rushed towards the falling dragon, and wrapped its body. Soon, the appearance of the purple key of faith gave the dragon a breath, and it stopped. Crack. At the same time, the thunder of calamity fell suddenly. Endless energy fell from the top of Pingfan's head, like a mountain. Pingfan was stunned by this blow. What a powerful blow. If he hadn't taken action just now, the pressure of this thunderbolt would have definitely killed the dragon. What kind of heavenly tribulation did you go through? Ang? A dragon roared, resounding through the sky. The sound came from the dragon shield. Or thunderbolt fell from the sky, with no end, and its energy was constantly supplied by the calamity cloud. The thunderbolt was fierce, and was about to smash everything in front of it. Among them, Pingfan happened to be included. I'll do it. The dragon spoke. After recovering, it also rushed forward, with light blooming on its body, and a small group of black clouds wrapped around its body, just like the previous Dragon King. The dragon rushed forward, and took Pingfan and let him stand on his head. One man and one dragon joined forces to fight against the heavenly tribulation. Fuck, the dragon rider is so handsome. Mom, I want to ride a big dragon too. How to ride it? Is it riding openly like the anchor, or riding it happily in private at night? We have seen what this dragon looks like after it transforms. It is so beautiful. Hehe, the person above is suspicious of the car without any evidence. Do you make a staff? There is no evidence for this? It's so bad that the wheels of the car will run over your big face. Two forces surged up at the same time, especially the dragon. The new power given by the dragon gave the dragon shield a new life. The original dragon shield almost collapsed under this powerful thunder. Now everything is just right. Fight. Fight against the sky. Fight against the earth. Fight against the heavenly tribulation. Crack. A crack appeared at the intersection of the thunder and the dragon shield. Then, there was no time to think. The cracks became wider and wider, spreading in an instant. In a blink of an eye, the front shield was like a honeycomb, and it would collapse at any time. Damn, why did the power of this heavenly tribulation suddenly become stronger? Pingfan was unhappy. The thunder element power of this thunder was so powerful that, even if the repaired nano god level middle finger was used, it would be difficult to resist it. Perhaps even a small part could not be absorbed, and the god level middle finger would be completely shattered. Terrible. The power of the heavenly tribulation is indeed increasing. Shenlong spoke again. If it has increased, then break it. He could only fight hard. There was no other way. Get ready. In 3 seconds, I will remove the dragon shield. While the dragon shield still has some time to resist, they can turn from passive to active. Break. Crack. The dragon shield was completely shattered. But at the same time, Shenlong opened his mouth wide. A breath of dragon rushed into the sky with a fierce momentum. Pingfan raised his finger and blasted away with the finger of extermination. Ignored, Pingfan opened his mouth in astonishment. Shenlong had no idea for a while. The dragon breath failed to block the tribulation thunder. It was as if it had never appeared, penetrating the tribulation thunder and rushing into the sky without causing any effect on the tribulation thunder. As for the finger of extermination, the effect was similar. It also rushed into the sky, but it did not even disperse the heavenly tribulation. It's over. It seems that it is impossible to break the heavenly tribulation by force. Can the anchor and Shenlong withstand such a strong tribulation thunder? It's really bad. Maybe the anchor will really get into trouble. It's better not to go up and get yourself into trouble. Boom. The white light enveloped Pingfan and Shenlong. Pingfan was well prepared. For example, the substitute talisman. He was ready to activate the substitute talisman and leave here at any time. However, just when the thunder was about to hit his body, he had a completely new feeling. The thunder had no temperature at all, no breath, and it didn't look like the thunder that could kill both of them. Shenlong, this is the 9th wave. Yes. Give up resistance. I think this thunder may not kill you. Pingfan warned. Sure enough, the thunder passed through Pingfan and Shenlong in an instant and stopped at the same time as it passed through them. The white light enveloped the two, and a warm breath gently passed through their bodies like an ocean current. This is heavenly tribulation baptism. Shenlong exclaimed. Heavenly tribulation baptism is very rare, and perhaps some people will never encounter it in their lifetime. Reborn? Pingfan was also shocked. That's right. Why did the heavenly tribulation choose me as one of them? Pingfan asked in surprise. Perhaps you and I have the same aura. Faith in the purple key. Pingfan roughly understood what was going on. He was actually mistaken for a dragon by the heavenly tribulation. This is a good thing. The warm current enveloped the two of them. Pingfan could feel that his body was constantly changing, and new energy was flowing through his body. My immortal dragon soul has been purified. A golden light suddenly surged from the top of Pingfan's head. The light intertwined, and it was a dragon. A dragon shadow that looked similar to a dragon. This was the immortal dragon soul condensed by Pingfan. After the immortal dragon soul was baptized by the white thunder, it actually rushed towards the calamity cloud in the sky, and in the blink of an eye it poured into it and disappeared. Chapter 319. Plundering Luck. Kidnapped? Pingfan was a little confused. What was going on? He was just helping Shenlong to withstand a wave of heavenly tribulation, so why did his immortal dragon soul get robbed? Not only Pingfan was confused, the Shenlong under his feet was also at a loss. This shouldn't be. Shenlong spoke, very surprised. What shouldn't be? Don't you deserve to be happy? If it weren't for me, it would be your dragon soul that was robbed. Damn, you are really a jinx. Pingfan wanted to beat Shenlong to death and take him home to barbecue. Shenlong was very unhappy and shook his body a few times. What's the matter? I can't say a few words to you. Although you don't remember, I still have to say that if I hadn't met you, my faith purple key would not have been reduced by more than half, and more than half. Pingfan vented his dissatisfaction wantonly. After a moment, Shenlong interrupted. Do you think the heavenly tribulation robbed your dragon soul? Although Shenlong was particularly curious about why Pingfan had a dragon soul, she didn't ask much. Because when she broke the egg, she had a sense of awe towards Pingfan, a sense of awe from the bottom of her heart. So when Pingfan said he would beat her to death and roast her, she was just sulking. What else? Do you think the heavenly tribulation is over? Shenlong asked. Pingfan looked up at the sky. It seems to be over, but I don't know why it hasn't dissipated yet. The thunder of the tribulation should have stopped. At this moment, there is no sense of oppression in the area under the tribulation cloud. When he broke into it before, Pingfan really felt the oppression. It was a pressure that hit people's souls directly. But now, there is no such feeling. The tribulation cloud in the sky gives people the feeling that it is just an ordinary dark cloud, which is just brewing a heavy rain. It's that simple. The heavenly tribulation should be over. Pingfan nodded and said firmly, "You lost the immortal dragon soul. Are you feeling unwell?" Shenlong asked again. "Well, this question, although I lost the dragon soul, I still have a connection with it, but this connection can't urge me to take it back." Pingfan answered truthfully. Shenlong gritted his teeth, looking a little cruel. Damn. Shenlong was about to explode. "Since your Shenlong soul is fine, and the heavenly tribulation has ended, why do you think the heavenly tribulation took your Shenlong soul away? Jealous of me? It's cleansing." "Cleansing? Isn't it over?" "Soul cleansing. The heavenly tribulation can not only forge the body, but also cleanse the soul. The heavenly tribulation should take me away, but you are still here unwilling and unyielding." Shenlong was about to collapse. Why on earth? How could the heavenly tribulation make such a mistake? It should have been her. You. Pingfan suddenly realized. 70% of the Shenlong soul was the soul she originally offered. 70% of the soul was condensed by him, so in many cases, there would be some similarities between the two souls. Ahem. Pingfan was a little embarrassed. Did this count as robbing someone else's opportunity? "How about I give you some faith purple energy as compensation?" Pingfan suggested. "Humph." Shenlong snorted and said nothing. "Faith purple energy is also fine. Although it is not as important as the baptism of the heavenly tribulation. What else can be done now?" The last soul gift has been occupied by Pingfan's immortal dragon soul. She is also helpless. "Don't be angry, you condense the body, and I cleanse the soul. It's the best of both worlds." Pingfan laughed. "Both are bullshit. This is my heavenly tribulation. Why should I share it with you?" Shenlong was helpless. "Don't care about these details. We are just following each other." Shenlong didn't say anything else. The tribulation clouds in the sky dissipated. The immortal dragon soul returned to Pingfan's body, and everything was over. He survived a tribulation, but ended up robbing someone else's luck. Another sister? The heavenly tribulation ended. When returning to the ocean house, Pingfan turned off the live broadcast. When Shenlong and Pingfan came back together, the succubus girl was a little depressed. In the live broadcast, she heard Shenlong communicating with Pingfan, and it was a girl's voice. She had seen Shenlong break out of the shell before, and it seemed that Pingfan had cultivated it for a long time. The succubus girl was unhappy. She was still the last one to know Pingfan. Depressed. "Come on, since you have also broken out of the shell, it's time to go out and play with me. I'm still a child. Have you ever seen a child that is more than 10 meters long? Don't act like a kid." Pingfan kicked the dragon on his back. In a blink of an eye, one man and one dragon rushed out of the scope of the ocean house again. The world was shocked. The legendary dragon is real, and the 1G evaluator has successfully proved the existence of dragons. Almost all kinds of crazy scholars and dragon culture enthusiasts have gathered near the Gangnam Straits to see the appearance of the dragon with their own eyes. By the way, how about giving you a name? The Dragon King used to have a name. However, because he was reincarnated and reborn once, he should have cut off the past. In the past, she and Pingfan were still enemies who were neither dead nor alive. Okay, your name is Aocean. Since you are a dragon, how about taking the surname Long? Pingfan gently stroked the dragon's horn, as if he was stroking his own child. Moreover, he spoke with great sincerity. Long Aocean finally achieved this great name. There is simply no one more suitable than her. Long Aocean, but I'm a girl. Shenlong was a little upset. What's the matter? Pingfan waved his hand. Mermaid is still a girl. Why do you insist on naming her? Aocean, what's wrong with you? Why don't you say anything? Do you like this name too much? Aocean. Pingfan deliberately disgusted her. Although she was reincarnated and had no memory, Pingfan still remembered her. A gentleman's revenge is not too late in 10 years. In a blink of an eye, a man and a dragon shadow arrived at an area, now hidden above the clouds. Here, it is. Here. Long Aocean looked down at the lower world. What the hell is this? Mine. Pingfan jumped and fell from the air. The magic sword appeared immediately, carrying Pingfan, and rushed to the mine in a blink of an eye. At the same time, in the mine, a disabled silver-haired old man was drinking, very depressed, with a panic on his face, looking outside the house with horror. How long will it take? Let's see. 10 minutes, at most 10 minutes. The 5-day appointment will be over again. 10 minutes. The people here are very nervous. He can't eat or drink. His eyes are red and bloodshot. I have hidden in this abandoned mine this time. Can he come here? They huddled together in the mine, just to escape. Because Pingfan is like a demon god, torturing them every 5 days. He doesn't kill them. After cutting off their hands or legs, he lets them go. Heaven and earth, great. Chapter 320, Killing Yuleo. Pingfan's voice was like a demon's, and it was particularly harsh with the cool wind pouring into the mine. Familiar. This old lady Yu was very familiar with him. These days, no, it should be said, that every day, since the Battle of Gangnam Strait, Pingfan would appear in his dreams. In the dream, Pingfan was a demon who wanted to kill him, but every time he didn't kill him, he just tortured him blindly. Give a blow, and then place hope. How many times did Yuleo feel that he couldn't bear it anymore? He wanted to commit suicide, to end it all. But when he thought about the wealth and power he had, he died before he had time to enjoy them, which was really a bit reluctant. He would fantasize that it was only 5 days, and he would definitely be able to bear it. He would hold on. As long as he held on for 5 days, he would be able to get a new life after 5 days. During this time, he frantically searched for shelter. He tried almost every place he could think of, including the tropical rainforest, the primitive jungle, the no man's land, the slums, the red light district, and almost every place he could think of. But he would be found every time, and then he would be tortured. Here we go again. Is there no place in this world where he can't find me? What should I do to let me go? Bang. Pingfan fell from the sky into the mine. His eyes swept over the few people huddled in the depths and trembling. You, if you have the guts, kill me. Looking at the ferocious Yuleo, Pingfan put his hands in his pockets. You still don't want to die. You are not as strong as you say. If you were strong, you would have died long ago. This world is too tempting for you, too attractive to you. So, you fantasize that one day you can escape and get a new life. You are wrong. Pingfan smiled indifferently. How could I let you go? I look for you every 5 days, but I don't actually need 5 days. I just need to temporarily confirm where you are on the afternoon of the 4th day. You think you know me, but you don't know anything yet. Pingfan, who said this, seemed to be covered with a layer of fog in Yuleo's eyes at this moment. In the fog, he couldn't see his true face at all. Do you know him? I have watched his performances in the live broadcast room many times. Are they all fake? You, who are you? I will torture you for the rest of your life, and let you feel what it means to hide from the enemy for the rest of your life. Pingfan's voice was very scary. Yuleo had been tortured beyond recognition. If he lost an arm or a leg, he would become a human stick, a bald human stick. He was too fierce before. Yuleo's face was ferocious, as if he was struggling. I will fight you, reviewer. Do you know why I hid in this mine this time? Let me go, and we can live in peace. If you insist on not letting me go, then we will die together. Yuleo had already thought about it. If Pingfan didn't find him this time, or if he found him, and threatened him, and let him go, then they would live in peace. From now on, the bridges will be bridges, the roads will be roads, and both sides will pretend that they have never known each other. If you don't want to, then it's better to die than to live in disgrace. Why don't you plan to let me go? Sooner or later, I will be killed by you, and if I don't die, I will be tortured to the point of mental breakdown. For more than 10 days, Yuleo slept no more than 2 hours a day. He couldn't sleep at all. He was the Wanji reviewer when he closed his eyes and the Wanji reviewer when he opened his eyes. In short, the shadow of the Wanji reviewer had been deeply rooted in his mind and could not be abandoned. Let's die together. Yuleo roared and grabbed a controller with his only remaining hand and pressed the button hard. Boom. Powerful energy was released and signs of collapse began to appear above the mine. In a few seconds, the abandoned mine collapsed. On the top of the mountain, Pingfan looked at the black smoke and dust that kept pouring out of the mine entrance and sighed. So tough. Just as Yuleo pressed the switch, Pingfan activated the substitute talisman. Therefore, what was submerged by the collapsed mine was just a phantom, and the real Pingfan had left there in an instant. Why bother? It seems that the cat and mouse game can end today. Pingfan didn't bother about anything anymore. He took out the space blade to cut the space and returned to the ocean home. His official live broadcast is coming. Previously, in order to help the dragon to overcome the tribulation, he came to track down Yuleo again. The delay had made him forget to predict in advance what props he could provide for the live broadcast. Ocean House. After returning, Pingfan opened the live broadcast room. Okay, welcome everyone to the reviewer's live broadcast at the same time on time. I'm your old friend, the reviewer of all worlds. I miss you so much after not seeing you for a few days. Pingfan smiled indifferently. For him, he has indeed experienced a lot in the past few days. Shuttle between two worlds, various explorations, and various problems. Just when Pingfan happily opened the live broadcast room and chatted with his fans and friends, a figure appeared at the place where the mine collapsed. He was wrapped in a heavy windbreaker, enduring the strong wind and yellow sand, and seemed to come to the edge of the mine with difficulty. In fact, he had arrived a long time ago. He just kept lurking until he saw Pingfan leave through the space gate, and he didn't dare to come out. After ensuring that there was enough time, he dared to show his head. You souls are really delicious. Under the windbreaker hoodie was a face so pale that it was indescribable, without a trace of blood. You are all people who are dissatisfied with the 10,000 worlds evaluator, and you died because of him. Are you going to die so easily? Just let him continue to live? What you want is too simple to perish together. Come and help me. Help me. Let's kill him together, and he will become our common enemy. Endless black smoke. Of course, these so-called black smoke are invisible to the naked eye, spreading from the ruins of the mine. These are several souls, emitting a dark luster, and even wrapped with iron chains. The man laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha. Delicious. Delicious. These evil thoughts, hatred for the 10,000 worlds evaluator, can't be cultivated overnight. Come, let me maximize the value of your death. Obviously, Pingfan didn't know all this. He didn't care, because he was receiving today's evaluation props in the live broadcast room. Haha, you want to change the presence of the 100 times arm strength ball? Can I say that I won't even look at it? Alright, all of you keep a low profile. Without the extraordinary uniform badge today, I can't wear women's clothes, even if I want to. The props provided by the host this time are pretty good. The next one is called Interstellar Login Device. As the name suggests, the interstellar login device can log into any planet within the specified range, regardless of the distance. Chapter 321 Return to the Snow Country. The Planeta Relander can travel between the universe, but it has a flaw. That is the distance problem. It can't cover the entire universe, and it can't even cover the solar system. It can only participate in a few planets near the Earth. It's of little use. Now I almost don't need this so-called lander to go to other planets. Moreover, it can only travel between a few planets. Unless there is a super soldier factory blueprint. Unfortunately he doesn't have it. Now there is only one. Even if he wants to arrange it in the future, it won't be used for the time being. Okay, let's look at the next evaluation prop. The fourth prop is a specific task. Pingfan was a little curious. What he is more entangled with now is the planetary lander and the fourth specific task. Specific task, capture interstellar fugitives. What? Capture interstellar fugitives? Isn't it for evaluation? What kind of evaluation task is this? Yes, Anchor, don't forget your original intention. You are a reviewer, not a Star War police. You must do your job well. For example, we like Aoli Jekko very much. Do you want to try it, host? You become green, you become stronger, and you have grass on your head. I'm optimistic about you. Isn't the planet login a good evaluation prop? You can find some water friends to participate and take us to the moon for sightseeing. Yes, you can charge tickets, 100 yuan each. I heard that the planet login can log into several planets. At that time, the host can also set up a one-stop tour group, and then several nearby planets are all included. The package ticket is not discounted, and the starting price is 320 yuan. You are really dreaming. 100 yuan to go to the moon, 320 yuan to travel around the entire galaxy. This kind of good thing, call me one. It's just right. You must leave my contact information to your family before you leave. My family is a one-stop funeral service. I believe you will die miserably. To capture the interstellar fugitive, you need to go back 5 years. Moreover, the fourth model also has a review task. The so-called interstellar fugitive is a mechanical killer from a future civilization. He went back to the past through the time channel. What I have to do is to go back to the past to find its traces, then evaluate its mechanical structure and its ability to travel through time. 5 years ago. Beautiful. Reviewer dad, please go back soon. I think this is more interesting. Robot, what is the purpose of going back 5 years? The future really has the ability to travel through time. If the host has mastered it, can he change many things in the past? Be careful, go back to the past. Remember not to change anything, otherwise the butterfly effect will make the future change dramatically. Upstairs, you forgot the paradox. In fact, even if the host goes back to the past, he can't change anything. If he kills a person who is still alive in the past, there will be only two possibilities. That person is not killed, or a brand new parallel universe is created. Because that person is really living in the present. He died in the past, and he will not be affected now. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Is the upstairs starting to popularize science again? Yes, that's right. Pingfan already had a certain understanding of these mysterious things. For example, the past, the future, etc. For example, I'm going back to the past now. In fact, I have already gone back in the past timeline, but no one knew me in the past. Time is a line, a well-drawn line. It is destined that I have gone back. Okay, now we are ready to accept the last task. Let's go back to the past together, back to 5 years ago. After that, Pingfan accepted the task. A crack appeared in the sky. The crack opened. This is the space channel. Wait a moment. To go back 5 years ago, he had to make some preparations. As for whether to meet himself 5 years ago in advance, this idea, he would not let it exist at all, let alone do it. Changing the future, especially the future that is closely related to himself, he would never allow it. That's it. Let's go. After making all preparations, Pingfan fell into the space channel. As he entered, the space channel gradually healed and completely closed. There was also a brief blackness in the live broadcast screen. When I called her the next day with great enthusiasm, I said that today was the second day and we could be together. As a result, the goddess said that I confessed too much yesterday and she was already with him. Damn, uncle who helps me a lot. I also want to have an uncle like you. I can only say that you did a great job. Perfect. The light flashed again. The screen was restored. Pingfan returned to 5 years ago. Although 5 years is not a long time, the changes are huge. Everyone, this is our world 5 years ago. Pingfan opened his hands. The air is better than now. At least the haze is not so serious, and the temperature here is a bit dry and cold. Let's check where the boss took us back to 5 years ago. Pingfan believed that the system must not arrange him to come to this place randomly. There must be a unique meaning. For example, this may be the handover point of his mission, and many things will happen from here. By the way, this is the Earth. Although it was 5 years ago, it is still the Earth. The space blade should be useful. Pingfan took out the space blade from the sea of immortal consciousness. He was not sure how powerful the fugitive who had the ability to travel through time was. But, no matter what, he had to be careful. Is this the snow country? Pingfan did not need to check. Looking at the local customs and people nearby, he quickly confirmed where this place was. Because he had been here before. He had not just seen it on the internet. The snow country 5 years ago. Wait, 5 years ago, wasn't I traveling in the snow country? Chapter 322 Myself 5 years ago. Friday, help me check what day it is now. Ugh. Pingfan ordered Friday subconsciously. It can only be said that when Mark 50 was on him before, it was too convenient. No matter where he went, as long as it was a world with technological civilization, Friday could easily help solve problems. Tracing the timeline was the easiest. It's inconvenient. But soon, Leapingfan found that he no longer needed to trace the origin of time, because he already knew what timeline it was. Because at this moment, not far from him, a bus was slowly passing by. His sharp eyes caught a figure in the back row of the bus. The man was wearing a baseball cap, low at his head, wearing headphones, and wearing a grey cotton coat. He was a little inconspicuous. "It's me." Leapingfan didn't say this to others. He didn't tell the people in the live broadcast room. 5 years ago, he came to the snow country alone for a trip. He took this bus. I saw myself. Leapingfan was actually a little nervous for a while. He still remembered that the trip to the snow country 5 years ago was not peaceful. It was probably not a coincidence that the system teleported him here, to this time and place. All this should have some deep meaning. Leapingfan sighed, frowning slightly. Standing on the long street, a gust of wind blew, carrying snowflakes towards Leapingfan, and he put on a mask. If he hadn't seen himself, he might not have worn a mask. After all, this live broadcast was for people 5 years later. Even if people 5 years later knew what time and place they had returned to, what could they do? Could they come back to? Impossible. The world where the mermaids lived 500 years later did not have the ability to reverse time or travel through time. Is there any need to worry about them? However, if I saw myself this time, and was on the same timeline as myself 5 years ago, I had to be careful. Remember not to be reckless. The host started to stare at the sky in a daze again. I suspect that the host must not have explained all the tasks of returning to the past to us clearly. Who do you think you are? Why did they explain it to you clearly? Do you think the host is an idiot? I'm almost convinced. What you said makes sense. The anchor went back to 5 years ago. What happened in the snow country 5 years ago? What time period is it now? Leapingfan won't say too much about the past. It's good for him to know what time period it is now. If it can be avoided, he will try not to expose it. Okay, we have now arrived at the Earth 5 years ago. I think people with experience should be able to tell where this place is on the Earth. Yes, this is the snow country. Leapingfan already knows what will happen on this day. First of all, I won't mention the timeline and what will happen to anyone for the time being, but I believe you will know. Leapingfan has his plan. Next, what we have to do is to find the time and space fugitive. There is not much time left, less than 24 hours left, which means that today's live broadcast will last at least 24 hours. Leapingfan knows what will happen, so he also knows how much time he has left. Can the future really be changed in the past? This is a mystery. Leapingfan is not sure. He thinks it's difficult. If it can be changed, it is naturally a good thing. But, it may be difficult. You can only follow me for now. Leapingfan could not have imagined that one day in the future, he would actually follow him. Since they met here at the same time. Especially now without Friday's help, Leapingfan can only rely on himself. The only clue is his past self. He believed that the system should not let him see how handsome he was in the past. After all, this was a fact, and he could see himself every morning. Leapingfan did not need to keep up with the bus. He did not have to think about where the bus was going now. On the contrary, he turned around and walked in the opposite direction. Soon, Leapingfan appeared in an uninhabited area. In this uninhabited area, he took out the space blade and cut open the space. He stepped in. The next moment, Leapingfan appeared on the roof of a hotel. The wind was howling, and the cold snowflakes were ruthlessly sprinkled on the world. Fortunately, Leapingfan's physical fitness has been greatly improved now. These harsh environments can't affect him at all, especially with the Wernlang scale armor. After the scale armor is activated, the spiritual energy emitted will burn the nearby snowflakes clean. Not only did he not feel cold, but he also felt warm. Okay, I'm going to take a break. If you have anything to talk about, feel free to talk. Leapingfan found a suitable spot on the roof and sat down on the ground. He stretched his body. This hotel was exactly the hotel where he stayed when he was traveling in the snow country 5 years ago. So, if the time and space fugitive is related to him, then this is the best place. Instead of tracking around without any clue, it is far better to come here and wait for the opportunity. Host, do you have a plan? What are you going to do? It's so exciting. I really want to know what will happen next. Hurry up, tell us. No matter how the live broadcast room barrage asked, Pingfan just kept silent about this mission. I guess it's impossible to ask. Host, did you not bring the dragon when you came to 5 years ago this time? Yes. I'm curious too. Miss Aocean was given such a domineering name by the host. I guess the little sister fainted in the toilet. Haha, compared to Miss Mermaid, Miss Aocean is simply amazing. After all, it's a name, although it's a bit more masculine and domineering, but it's still a name. Miss Mermaid is miserable. I guess she's going to collapse. Come here, I really want to study the host's brain circuit. She came naturally. Pingfan answered a question in the barrage. Shenlong is now a super helper for him. How can he let her rest at home? Don't worry, everyone. She will appear naturally when it's time for her to appear. I'm still looking forward to her abilities. Pingfan said with a smile. Brother host, the succubus girl is back with you. Where is she? We want to see her too. Yes, can you let us see the true appearance of the succubus girl? I also want to know what this kind of monster looks like. We can't imagine the host's happiness. The succubus girl is still in the ocean house. When we return to the real world, I will let her appear on camera, but without mosaics. Pingfan hadn't finished speaking when he suddenly felt a strange breath coming, and his face suddenly changed. Wait a minute, it's coming. Chapter 323, a face-to-face meeting. An extremely cold aura kept approaching the hotel. Pingfan became nervous, and of course, more excited. It was almost the same as what he had predicted. Damn, it really has something to do with my past self. Who on earth wants to target me and even send someone back to the past to kill me? Pingfan didn't think that this time and space fugitive came back to the past to have tea with him. Not to mention he came to ask for help. Just say that there are not so many coincidences in this world. Pingfan clenched his fists. 5 years ago, he knew nothing and was lying on the bed watching anime. Danger is coming as expected. What's coming? Time and space fugitive? So nervous, so exciting. By the way, how did the reviewer know that the time and space fugitive would come here? Did he come here in advance to wait and see? Could it be that the time and space fugitive is related to the reviewer? What is it that hasn't been told to us? We really want to know. It's so uncomfortable to be kept in suspense like this. It's really too uncomfortable. Everyone calm down. You will soon see the time and space fugitive with the ability to travel through time and space. Pingfan was looking forward to it. Because if he was not there, or if he encountered a little accident, what would he have encountered 5 years ago? However, according to the time paradox, he doesn't have to worry. Because he really survived, and there is no memory of the time and space fugitive in his memory. That is to say, the other party will definitely fail no matter what. Now even if Friday is not here, I can accurately find the direction of the intruder. When Pingfan came to the top of the building, he covered the spiritual energy in his body, with the building as the center, spreading out, completely covering the hotel and the surrounding area. In this area, the information of humans and other creatures will be easily transmitted to Pingfan's mind in detail. Therefore, if there is an intruder who is out of tune with everything around, and appears to be particularly abrupt, he can instantly discover and accurately lock the location. Found you. Pingfan's face turned cold. He did not take action, but took out the magic sword from the storage space and threw it out. The speed of the magic sword was so fast, faster than the speed of the bullet leaving the gun barrel, and it rushed out in the blink of an eye. With a bang, it cut down several large trees. Want to escape? Pingfan jumped up, and as his body fell towards the building, the magic sword turned around and flew back, caught Pingfan, and rushed out madly. You are so fast. The opponent's speed was very fast. It was very difficult for the magic sword to catch up in an instant. If Mark 50 was there, it might be easier. Pingfan could vaguely see that it was a guy who was infinitely close to human appearance. At least its shape had surpassed number 7 in those super soldiers. Number 7, and the super soldiers can only be said to be human-shaped metal. It belongs to the human body and can perform many human actions. But in terms of appearance, only a blind person can't tell that they are not human. Every one of them, whether it is skin or body structure, is made of metal. But the time and space fugitive in front of him is different. No matter from which angle it is viewed, it looks like a human, with human skin, color, and hair. But now two air currents are gushing out from the bottom of its feet, and it is these two air currents that are pushing it away. Faith purple air, bless the speed of the magic sword. Pingfan released some of the faith purple air in the sea of immortal consciousness, and the purple air wrapped around the magic sword, which immediately increased the speed of the magic sword. Boom. The magic sword reached an unprecedented speed, even comparable to the speed of Mach 50. These are two completely different feelings. Before, Pingfan was protected by steel armor, and he could not feel anything except speed. Now, he stood on the magic sword, which was a completely different feeling. It's about the same. After estimating the height, Pingfan stretched out his finger and pointed at the guy who was constantly fleeing. Boom. A finger of destruction shot out. It pierced his shoulder. Then, the thing actually changed its position in the air and rushed towards Pingfan. Ding ding ding. As it rushed over, there were also bursts of dripping sounds. Damn it. Pingfan's sixth sense exploded instantly, and every pore on his body was shrinking, as if he felt something terrible. Boom. It exploded. Pingfan was thrown off the magic sword by the air wave, and fell to the ground. Damn it. At the same time, the hotel where Zyoli lived 5 years ago, someone knocked on the door. Zyoli, who was lying on the bed watching anime, asked in English who it was. The other party also answered in English. Hotel service. Hotel service? Zyoli turned over from the bed in confusion and put down his phone. He didn't call for hotel service. This place is unfamiliar. What service to call? Sorry, sir. The guest downstairs notified the hotel that your bathroom might be leaking, so we came to repair it. Leaking. Zyoli went to the bathroom and looked around. He couldn't see anything, but since they said so, he couldn't just not open the door. At the same time, Pingfan, who was overturned, suddenly thought of something. He immediately took out the space blade and cut a passage in the space. The next moment he appeared in the hotel corridor. I also saw the guy knocking at my door. The man also noticed Pingfan and turned around and ran towards the glass window on the other side of the corridor. Asshole, you want to escape? Pingfan strode out, but after a few steps, there was a creak. The door of the room was pushed open. In an instant, Pingfan changed his clothes with one long scale armor and turned into the style of hotel waiter work clothes, wearing a peking opera mask on his face. Hello, do you need to check the bathroom here? HMM. When Pingfan turned his head to look at this little Lee, he immediately asked the live broadcast room to blur. Of course, it was not a deliberate disguise, but a face change for Pingfan. Feeling so uncomfortable. Hey, why do I feel that this little brother is a little familiar? Nonsense, handsome guys are familiar. That's not what I mean, it's the figure and the temperament. By the way, the guy who ran away when he saw the anchor just now should be a real time and space fugitive. Anchor, what should I do? If we let him run away now, we may not be able to catch him. After all, we have already alerted the enemy. Escape. He can't escape. Pingfan pretended to walk around in the bathroom before comforting his past self that there was no problem. Damn, this feels so weird. It turns out that the me 5 years ago and the me 5 years later have actually met. It's a pity that he was too proud at that time. After opening the door, he went back to watching anime in bed and didn't pay any attention to the waiter. If he paid attention to him, the only point was the mask. Chapter 324 I was created by you. As expected, they want to deal with me. Pingfan, who had helped check the bathroom, walked out of the hotel door. Host, did you lose him? By the way, who was that person just now? Why did the time-space fugitive appear at his door? Could he be a key figure? Host, can you reveal it? How should I know? Pingfan looked a little impatient. Host, after you came to the world 5 years ago, you immediately arrived at the rooftop of this hotel. Did you expect the time-space fugitive to come here? Yes, I also found this loophole. How did you appear here? And, was this really 5 years ago? Could it be that you are lying to us? It's possible. Now many live broadcast platforms can watch dramas live. I guess the reviewer feels that the popularity is low and has started to switch to being a screenwriter. Low popularity? Upstairs. Are you illiterate or blind? Have you seen the reviewer's recent data? The number of viewers for each live broadcast is around 9 digits. If you look at the live broadcasts on all online platforms, which one can reach this number? The only person with the most traffic right now is the reviewer. If he says he is the second in traffic, I'm afraid no one on this earth can say he is the most traffic person. No, it is true. I'm in the snow country, and I work at the hotel where the anchor appeared. It is still very early here, and it is not the season for snowflakes. Anyway, the hotel that appeared on the live broadcast screen will not be the current one. Is it really 5 years ago? Yes, the upstairs above. If you are in the snow country and still working in that hotel, can you check the records, such as the video and check-in information, to see what the room of the person the reviewer just visited is called? Hey, sure, I happen to be on duty. Pingfan feels so tired. Are these people really possessed by Sherlock Holmes? Damn it. Can you have some shame? Check. What the hell? Wearing a mask, Pingfan broke into the hotel lobby, and the immobilization talisman floated out, controlling several people, and then began to operate various systems of the hotel. In short, all the information of the residents was deleted, and all the surveillance videos were thrown away. I can't find it. The records of the hotel for 3 months 5 years ago were all blank files. Blank period. The anchor acted so quickly, I forgot that the anchor is now in 5 years ago. But, we didn't see the anchor change the system just now. That's right, Pingfan did not. He just flashed the specific operation steps in his mind. Fools, don't forget that the live broadcast was ahead of us 5 years ago. He doesn't do it now. As long as he has that idea, it is defined as an achievable idea by time. If he does it 5 hours later, he will also be ahead of us, so the records here will not exist. Dizzy, anchor, let's get back to the point. The time and space fugitive ran away. Are you not panicked at all? Run. Is there a word for run in my dictionary? Pingfan sneered. Didn't you say you wanted to meet Long Ocean before? Now the opportunity is here. As soon as he arrived here, he let Long Ocean lurk nearby. Long Ocean can control the size of his body, so before Pingfan came 5 years ago, Long Ocean was already on him. Let's go see who the time and space fugitive is. After Pingfan walked out of the hotel, he changed the state of the one-long scale armor. After the clothes completely wrapped Pingfan, they became a material that could reflect the surrounding environment. In a sense, Pingfan has now entered the stealth mode. Then, he soared into the sky. In the sky, a dragon was chasing him hard. Good guy, you want to escape. Don't you think it's too late? After a while, Pingfan and the dragon landed on an uninhabited wild mountain near the outskirts of the city. At the same time, the fugitive who was constantly being chased also landed with him. The fugitive was very fast. However, at the critical moment, Pingfan shook him down from the air through the air shock, and then the dragon caught him in one bite. After falling, Pingfan threw out a few more fixed talismans, and the talismans controlled this person. Yes, it is not an exaggeration to call him a person. His appearance, walking into the crowd, you can't tell at all. This is actually a technological product. What civilized world are you from? Pingfan asked. At the same time, the control system prevented the live broadcast room from hearing the voice of the robot. Pingfan was very cautious. He was a little worried that the robot knew his true identity. Otherwise, how could the other party go straight to the hotel room where he stayed 5 years ago? Pingfan. As expected by Pingfan, the robot uttered his name. You recognize me? Pingfan's face was cold and he asked. Yes. The robot said in a hoarse voice. Want to kill me? Pingfan pressed forward step by step and walked in front of the robot. What's the point of killing me 5 years ago? You are destined to be unable to kill me. If you have the ability to kill me now, I will stand here and wait for you to kill me. Pingfan sneered. Kill you? The robot shook his head. Isn't it? Don't say you are here to save me. Pingfan thought it was funny. Yes, I'm here to save you. The robot said seriously. I'm dying of laughter, you know. I'm tearing you apart now. Can I say that I'm also saving you? Pingfan laughed. The robot turned around. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I really came to save you. Save me? Are you trying to challenge the time paradox? I can live well until now, and you said you would go to my past to save me? Yes. The robot said, if I don't show up, you will die, and you will die in the hands of the fugitive. Fugitive? Before Pingfan could continue to ask, the robot said, by the way, Pingfan, can't your time machine read memories? I'm a robot, with the same frequency as that machine. You can read the contents of my memory, which contains system settings. You will understand it after reading it. Hearing the robot's words, Pingfan quickly took out the time machine, put it on the robot's head, and began to read his memory. That's right. He is a robot, unless he has the same wisdom as humans. Besides, Pingfan, whether I'm lying, you should be able to tell. Can't the mermaid or your hybrid number to see what you see in front of you? Their ability is enough to determine whether my memory storage is true or false. The robot's other words surprised Pingfan. It's not too much to know the mermaid and the hybrid number too. After all, after so many years, he couldn't keep his identity secret. But knowing the connection between hybrid number 2 and himself was too much. How could he tell others about this? Are you curious? I'll tell you, because I was created by you. Chapter 325. Future me wants to kill me. Stop fooling around. I was ordered to evaluate the internal structure of mechanical creature and its ability to travel through time. Don't you think you meet the requirements? Pingfan asked. Perhaps you really were sent to this world by my future self. But what does it have to do with me? The mechanical creature stopped talking. Pingfan turned around and summoned the video recorder. Okay, viewers in the live broadcast room, now let's evaluate the mission. This mechanical creature comes from the future. It has super high intelligence and was created by an unimaginable civilization. Pingfan explained. Just now I have used time, no last words to connect to the internal chip of this mechanical creature. It has a completely unknown energy stored in its body. This is a new type of energy from the universe. For example, if the heat generated by the release of a fingernail of this energy can provide heating for an ordinary family for 3 to 5 years, the energy stored in its body can be used for flying and fighting. Now let's learn about its time travel ability. The time travel ability has been discovered through the memory storage video, before it travels through the space channel. It is a brand new prop. It doesn't know how to operate it specifically, and what the principle is. In other words, it was sent back by someone. Is the future so scary? What is its mission? Is it to go back to the past and kill someone? Wow, this kind of thing will take at least a few hundred years. No, the mermaids are from 500 years later. Obviously, the world 500 years later cannot master this technology. But why do humans hundreds or thousands of years later come to this point in time? Is there something in this place that attracts future humans? It's terrifying to think about it. Evaluator, can you dig out the mission of his trip? The barrage in the live broadcast room flowed rapidly. Pingfan began to study this mechanical creature that was infinitely close to the bionic form. Jarvis, if you were here, could you start to study this creature? Pingfan began to communicate with the split brain in his heart. It's difficult, sir. There should be an integrated control center behind it. You can open the back, and let's take a look at the internal structure. Okay. Pingfan turned and came behind the mechanical creature. After Jarvis's guidance, he soon removed the back panel of the mechanical creature, revealing the delicate and complex design panel inside. Very exquisite. The lines and materials of these design integration centers are all of very advanced civilization. In this way, its creation technology is far superior to steel armor. Oh. However, if this mechanical creature is created in this way, it will greatly reduce his ability. Logically speaking, his combat effectiveness should be very strong, and it is absolutely impossible to be subdued so easily. You mean, he was subdued by me on purpose? No. Jarvis continued, it was his design. There was an unknown thing in his design that replaced the combat system, resulting in his own combat ability not being strong. Soon, following Jarvis's instructions, Pingfan discovered an unknown area in the integrated control center on the back of this mechanical creature. In this unknown area, an operating system was designed that even Jarvis could not recognize. This system has no combat capability, and they don't know what it is doing. I always feel that this operating system should be releasing some signal. Signal? Summon something? Pingfan asked. Not sure, sir. Anyway, it is very dangerous, especially the unknown operating system. Is there a way to dismantle it? You can try. I will guide you to try the operation now. No problem. It took more than an hour to toss. Jarvis was completely out of ideas for that special operating system. They couldn't dismantle that operating system, or even shut it down. It is indeed a signal source, releasing certain abilities. Time passed by little. Pingfan also began to get nervous. The mechanical creature is now in a dormant state. No matter how Pingfan asked or tried to turn it on, it ended in failure. But at the same time, the system also conveyed a message. The content is very simple. The capture of the time and space fugitive, the evaluation of the internal structure, and the discovery of its time shuttle ability have all been completed. In other words, this mechanical creature, that is infinitely close to the bionic form, is the time and space fugitive that Pingfan wants to catch. This time and space. My future self released a time and space fugitive back here and wait. Pingfan suddenly thought of something. Jarvis, you just mentioned the signal source. Is it possible that this signal source is involved with the universe? It's possible. The signal will keep shuttling back and forth. This signal source can easily pass through the atmosphere and lead to the universe. After Jarvis made his guess, Pingfan became more nervous. I know. Fortunately, he did not leave directly after completing the task. It's bad. This signal source must be cut off as soon as possible. Pingfan opened the space of the Sea of Immortal Consciousness and threw the time and space fugitive in. Then his consciousness dived into the Sea of Immortal Consciousness and found the time and space fugitive. Sir, the signal source is still being released. The other systems of this mechanical creature have been isolated, but the signal source is still being released. Jarvis also saw everything he saw in front of him through Pingfan's consciousness. What kind of signal source is this? Not only can it not be closed, but it can also penetrate the Sea of Immortal Consciousness. You know, the Sea of Immortal Consciousness is already a small world of its own. Ignoring the small world, it continued to emit signals. What signal was it trying to convey? At the same time, in the universe, there was a meteor with a flaming tail. Jarvis, investigate the meteorite fall in the snow country 5 years ago. Okay, sir. Jarvis soon began to study. Pingfan looked up at the sky. The calm sky was cut by a string of flames. It's too late. The signal source released by this thing attracted a meteor. This possibility cannot be ruled out. After the signal source is transmitted into the universe, if the data is accurate, it can change the trajectory of the traction meteor or meteorite. Jarvis explained. Damn, this guy actually attracted a meteorite. Sir, the meteorite is approaching the atmosphere, and it seems that it has entered the atmosphere. Things have become extremely dangerous. You are now near the city, and need to leave as soon as possible. Jarvis said. Damn, I didn't expect that I would encounter 2 meteorite impacts. That's right. Pingfan, who was traveling in this city 5 years ago, also encountered a meteorite impact. Now, 5 years later, he is here again. Does this count as my future self wanting to kill me? End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.